All right, what's going on, guys? Happy Sunday night. Happy near end of the first NFL Sunday, and I gotta say, it's been a doozy so far, man. There's a lot to talk about. I'm sure there's a lot that we're gonna hit and we're gonna recap, but we've also got a game. We've also got a great game here tonight. Maybe the biggest game of the night. You know, I was saying earlier during the pregame stream that Packers Lions was, but this one is right up there with it. Maybe not a divisional rivalry, but it might as well be. This could maybe determine who gets the number one seed. The top two guys in MVP last year going toe to toe. First Sunday night game of the year, man. It doesn't get much better than this. We've got the Bills and the Ravens in about 20 minutes. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. This should be a fun time. This should be a pretty good game. And as always, you guys know the drill. Second time here that I've said this today. If you're in here, feel free to say hello in chat. Looks like we got Brent in here already. What's up, Brent? Good to have you in here. Saying hi, doctor. Hello to you, Brent. How you doing? Tough loss for the Browns today, man. They almost got it. They really almost got their annual shocking AFC North win. The Bengals nearly got their annual slow start. I mean, it still was kind of a slow start for Cincy, but man, I made that bet with Wolf about potentially having to get a Joe Flacco jersey should the Browns win, and by golly, there was moments today where I was thinking about like, what's the cheapest Flacco jersey I could buy, or like, what's the coolest Flacco jersey I could get? Like, should I get the white alternate one? You know, like, how hard would a Joe Flacco jersey be? Could I get a good deal on one on Mercari? I was thinking about it. I wasn't watching the game a ton. That was honestly probably one of the games that I saw the least of today. But I had my eye on it, and I was like, oh, geez. Like, are we really doing this? Are the Bengals going to lose week one again? But they were able to eke it out. They were able to get it done. Even though Myles Garrett looks like he had a pretty impressive day. Was it like 2.5 sacks, 3 straight plays where it went like sack, half a sack or something like that? So I think you got to at least feel like pretty good if you're the Browns, right? And I heard that Mason Graham did some cool stuff. Like the defense looked pretty good. Fannin was getting some looks, but just wasn't quite able to get him. But, you know, for a team that everyone thought was going to be like a complete bottom of the barrel disaster, you'll certainly take that. Okay, living life, waiting to hear back on jobs. I feel you, man. I've been there right with you, dude. Yeah, man. The job market, the economy, am I right? So, yeah, I can certainly empathize with that. I get what you're coming from. We got Wolf in here as well. Speaking of the Browns, Andre Smizet better lock his doors tonight. Yeah, the Browns kicker. I suppose bad kicking performance, right? Didn't he miss a big kick that kind of cost him the game? Yeah, special teams killing him. Yeah, I feel you. Welcome, Caden. Let's go. Saying he forgot about this. Oops. Hey, no worries about that, right? It's not like it's a requirement that you need to be tuning into all these. Certainly appreciate the work that you put in, and, you know, you've earned the wrench by your name for a reason, right? You're kind of like the watchdog of chat a little bit, amongst other things. And as I see right now, keeping me honest, razzing me every once in a while. Oh my gosh, yeah, all right. People are filing in here. I've already gotten a couple of comments about it. All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Welcome, Henry, Eagle-Eyes, Flame Raptor, Raven. What's going on, guys? Yeah, the Giants lost. And you know what? I've got some grade A copium for that game. I'm not going to lie. I watched a healthy amount of that game. Dude, I watched more of that game than like any person that's not a fan of either team should have, right? I had that game up on the third screen. Like, there were plenty of times. Like I said, I had Falcons Bucks on the main screen, and I was watching that a lot. There were plenty of times where it's like third down in the Giants Commanders game. I'm like, okay, what's going on over here? Here's what I'll say. A little bit of cope. The Giants defense did their job. I honestly thought they really did play a good game today. I know it shows that they gave up 21 points, right? But only second in the 7.5, and really that came at the very end. Giants defense absolutely played well enough for them to win that game. Was it like 3 sacks, 8 pressures on Daniels? Abdul Carter looked phenomenal. He had a fantastic rep on Laramie Tunzel where he got in the backfield. Brian Burns with 2 sacks. I mean, the defense played well. Drew Phillips did, in fact, come down hard on those screens and made a nice tackle on Deebo Samuel. But ultimately, I mean, Jaden was just such a cool customer. Jaden was just too much. He made so many nice throws over the middle. So many just killer scrambles on like second and long or third down, right? Deebo Samuel had that long touchdown run at the end. And Russ was just horrible, dude. I'm sorry. Exactly, Brent. You're absolutely right, dude. Russ was horrible. Like respectfully, I think I've already seen enough of him to be completely honest with you. I was never the biggest Dart fan, honestly, to answer your question, Henry. I've never been the biggest Dart fan, and so much of my Giants reckless optimism, like very little of it had to do with like, oh, I think Dart's going to come in and be good. Good Lord, dude, he better be better than what we saw from Russ today. And the line did him no favors, right? Andrew Thomas was out, and they sorely missed him, but dude, I don't know. I don't know if I feel so bad for Giants fans, dude. I don't know that I could watch 17 games of Russ running that offense. As much as I like to say, oh, they could just get it, like just target Neighbors 12 times and they'll be fine. They did. Neighbors got his targets. Good Lord, that offense was hard to watch. So that's my cope, right? I said if the Giants could get to like 22, 23 points per game, they'd win a shocking amount of games, and like that's the bar. All I'm gonna say, they 22 would have got the job done today. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at their schedule, I wouldn't be surprised if Dart was out there by like week 6 or something. It's coming. It's coming. But and we'll get to the actual game soon eventually too. But I love doing these Sunday night games, kind of like a little debrief of what's happened in the Sunday slate, as well as, we've got another game going on. But we got some more people filing in here. What's going on, Garrett? Purple Birds time. Let's go. Yeah, a couple of Ravens fans in here. Strong showing from the Ravens. And of course, I'm so sorry, guys. We got Steph and Jack in here as well, a couple of Seahawks fans. Dude, I'm so sorry. I was tuning into that game a little bit in the second half. I'm not going to lie, I was pulling for y'all. I really was. I really liked what I saw from the defense today. I know, like, you never want to hear, like, moral victories or anything, right? But for what it's worth, the defense looked as advertised today. JSN looked really good. Offense, maybe some kinks to iron out. But that is a tough way to go out. I can't lie. I was a little bummed when Bosa got there and got the fumble. So that is tough, man. That is tough. But yeah, I mean, a lot of crazy stuff. Not just Tyler Warren, dude. Like Daniel Jones balling out a little bit. Tyler Warren did play pretty well. Josh Downs had a fairly quiet game, so we're gonna hold strong on that. We're not selling our down stocks yet, but oh yeah. Warren did look pretty good. We could get a little fantasy check in a little bit here, maybe at halftime or something, or maybe in a little bit. We've still got 12 minutes before the game starts, but. Yeah, the Seahawks did not shock the world. There was not too many world shockings going on today. There was one shocking result that happened in the 4:00 window, and I was watching that game pretty closely. So I don't know. We'll get to that in a sec. But dude, I'm sorry, Henry. Dude, yeah, saying he's hanging out here to help with the depression from earlier. Young Wei Koo is on his hit list. Dude, I'm so sorry. I was pacing around the apartment for that game. Honestly, Christine and I were pretty locked in for that. Man, what a roller coaster that game was. From the Ibuka touchdown to then the missed extra point. I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got a chance. And then to get into field goal range, and then Koo misses after making the first one, right? They ice him, and then he misses. Yeah, man, that's tough. Again, not sure how many moral victories you want to take right now, but for what it's worth, honestly, considering that like the Falcons rushed for like 30 yards in that game, I don't know. The offense looked all right. Honestly, like Penix wasn't perfect by any means, but I honestly liked what I saw from Penix today. And you worry about Drake London's health too, obviously. Hopefully he's okay, because I think he's primed for a monster season this year. But how about Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts kind of had a nice game too. So I guess you'll take what you can get. It's a long season. Who knows? You guys swept Tampa last year and Tampa won the division. Yeah. Things can work out, but that was a big win for Tampa on the road. Crazy divisional win last second. Yeah. Caden saying Micah Parsons. We'll get to Micah Parsons and the Packers Lions game. I might want to spend a whole commercial break talking about that game. That's what I'll say. I don't know. We might get to that in a sec here, but I was watching that game pretty closely. That's what I'll say, and I noticed some things. Detroit really seemed to miss the man in the middle. That's what I'll say. But Joe Flacco having to throw 40 times a game. Yeah, the run game didn't seem great. Tough day for the Panthers. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I kind of fell off that game a little bit after the weather delay. I ended up watching a little bit more Patriots Raiders, but Yeah, Bryce didn't have a great game necessarily. Just kind of an ugly performance from the Panthers. Yeah. Okay, Drake London will be okay. That's good. We'll take that. We'll take that. But yeah, Penix had some nice throws. Yeah, Bill Krosky Merritt might actually be real, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those guys that's like, this is the easiest 400 rushing yards season ever. Like, I don't buy it. Like, I don't know, dude. Honestly, he showed some nice bursts today. He had a few nice runs. That Commanders run game was cooking. Not just Daniels, but Merritt was going. Eckler had a few nice runs. I gotta say, I think the Cliff Kingsbury revival might be real, honestly. I think he called a pretty good game today. I was pretty impressed with what I saw. They called a quarterback draw with Jaden Daniels on like 2nd and 14 too. Or it was even longer than that, but it set up like a 3rd and short. And I don't know, they just got to the line so quick and it just caught the Giants so off guard. I was like, that was pretty nice. And then they cut to Cliff and like they showed him smirking on the sideline. I'm like, dude, he knew he was in his bag with that play right there. He pulled that out at the perfect time. Yeah, it was like a bullet bill. Yeah, yeah. Justin Fields looked pretty good. Yeah, that's Steel. How about Steelers Jets being like the best game of the day so far? Yeah, Fields was slinging it, man. That throw to Garrett Wilson was nice. He was making some plays with his legs, right? 30 plus points. I'm telling you, feisty Jets are here. Feisty Jets are here, man. That play by Ramsey though to close the game out, that was so sick, dude. I got out of my chair for that one. Unk still got it, man. He can still go downhill with the best of them. Absolutely popped him. Clean hit for the win. That was pretty sick, man. And he runs off and celebrates. It's like, okay, maybe Tomlin still got a little something for us. And you know what, Rodgers played pretty well too. Henry saying the Falcons still can't run up the middle. Yeah. I mean, man, right? I mean, you think about like just some of the hits the offensive line has taken. And again, like you're going against Vita Vea. And this was certainly an offense that was not built to run up the middle, right? This was an inherited Arthur Smith offense. And just most of the guys there, like that's just what the roster is. Like there is only so much you can do, but it is frustrating after like seeing what happened last season. You'd think that like maybe you'd think Zach Robinson would go up to Terry Fontenot and be like, hey, like, come on, man. Like, can we move on from the Arthur Smith leftovers now? Can we like build a little bit more of a serious offense? But yeah, Breece Hall went crazy. Dude, that Jets run game, man. I'm telling you, that Jets run game, they're going to run the rock this year. They might not win like 9 games or whatever, but they're going to be a pesty little team to take out. That's what I'll say. Caden's happy you got DK. Yeah, Rodgers sideline balls to DK. You know, that's the thing that's aged best about Rodgers' game. Looked pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to talk about, right? And there's only so much we can get to. We've got about 7 minutes before kickoff, so I'm going to transition here real quick, and we are going to preview this game coming up right here, Ravens versus Bills, and that there's a little bit of time left over. You know, we'll keep the conversation going about the Sunday slate, and I think at halftime, since I already did the grid today, at halftime, we'll do a little fantasy check-in. How does that sound? We can check in on the Dr. Pigskin Fantasy League. Maybe check in on the picks competition too. I actually haven't looked at that yet, so I'm interested to see how everyone's doing in the picks competition. But first, let's talk about this game for a little bit. Ravens versus Bills. Good game right here. Rematch of last year's divisional round. For my money, I think these are the two best teams in the AFC. I really do. I still, even after Friday, I want to be careful and be like, it's completely over for the Chiefs. I don't know, man. I honestly feel pretty good about my take that like they have fallen behind just a tiny bit behind these two teams. I think you can argue these are the two best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, hence my title. You know, we are watching God's play quarterback right now. And I mean, beyond just the quarterbacks, these two teams are really well-rounded. Buffalo has a phenomenal offensive line. James Cook is a great back. I'm excited to see some of their young receivers. This Ravens defense is just filthy. Todd Monken's been a fantastic offensive coordinator. They've got a lot of weapons in their own right. I mean, this is as big as a heavyweight brawl as you can find here in the NFL, right? And this game just means so much. This game could very well decide who gets the 1 seed, right? This could be huge in tiebreaker scenarios. So even though it's just week 1, this kind of does have the feel of a playoff game right here. It really does. Good question from Caden. Run game matchup. How much juice does Henry have, and can Cook replicate his previous season after the extension? I think Cook can, right? And I want to be careful when I say this, because I'm not saying that James Cook is a bad player by any means. I think I had him at like number 10 in my preseason running back rankings. I do think he's pretty good, and he's developed a lot as a receiver too. But I think the biggest key to his success, and what has made him so ridiculously good over these past few years, is the environment around him is incredible as a running back, right? You have, in my opinion, one of the 5 best offensive lines in the NFL, just 1 through 5, 1 through 6. They love using 6 linemen. That's something we'll see a lot tonight, I think. The blocking is phenomenal. And then having a running quarterback just opens up so much in the running game, right? It's just one more player that you have to account for. Josh Allen himself can sort of steal a gap, right? Because defenses just have to respect his rushing threat. If you get into shotgun, you have to respect that he might keep it. He might keep it like 2 times the entire game, right? But those 2 times he does, man, he might rip off like a nice 15-yard chunk. So if you're defense, you have to respect it. So he's in an excellent situation. Joe Brady does a great job scheming up the run game. The blocking is great, and Allen is there. So I think he'll be good. But as good as he is, I think the run game on the other side is even better. I'm still in the belief that, like, man, Derrick Henry will fall off when I see it. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. I like the take of, like, he's the Tom Brady of running backs. Not necessarily that he's the greatest running back of all time, but his longevity is an outlier, right? He's almost 32 years old. He didn't show a single sign of decline last season. His ball carrier speed was as fast as ever. He was explosive as ever, right? I mean, we saw him rip off like an 87-yard touchdown run against the Bills last season, right? Last season was like one of his most productive years ever. He has shown no signs of decline. And if you were to talk about a quarterback that could steal gaps in the run game, one of the few guys that's better than Josh is Lamar, right? I mean, this truly is probably the best rushing attack I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm just so excited to see them tonight. As for my pick, I am going to go with the Ravens here. I do worry about the Bills defense just a little bit. This is a unit that I think is all right, but not good or great necessarily. They've got a few good players, but there's a lot of matchups to be had, I really think, when taking a look. There are some spots that you can pick on. I think you can pick on their safeties. It's been a unit that's kind of been in transition for them a little bit, right? You've got a young guy, Cole Bishop, who might have the red dot on his head. You know, they bring back, was it Jordan Poyer? I mean, it is a little bit of desperate times for them. And outside of Christian Benford, their corner room isn't exactly the best in the world right now either, right? I think there are some matchups to be had against this Bills defense. Not to mention, we have no idea how good Joey Bosa is going to be necessarily. And Greg Rousseau is a good player, but I mean, if it comes down to Greg Rousseau catching Lamar Jackson, I don't feel great about that necessarily. I wouldn't be shocked if Lamar didn't get sacked tonight. He's just such a hard player to sack in general. But we've seen what's really been the thorn in the side of the Bills recently in these big games has been they just can't get after the quarterback. If you think about their game against the Chiefs last year, they just couldn't get after Mahomes, right? I could see that being a real problem for them. I'm just looking at their injury report right now, too. It looks like Trey White is out for the game as well. So, I mean, you know, it's going to be probably Jamarcus Ingram out there and Christian Benford as the other guy, right? I don't know. That's a matchup to be had right there. So I worry about this Bills defense a little bit, and I do think the Ravens are just a slightly better team. It is in Buffalo. I could see the crowd be rocking, and Josh is just such an equalizer. I mean, he's prone to go nuclear any given game, and maybe they could get the run game going, but I don't know. I don't think the Ravens shoot themselves in the foot like they did in the first half of the divisional round last year, right? That was the only reason they really got down, was just a few turnovers. They ended up storming back and almost winning the game despite that. I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think we might see some fireworks from the Ravens tonight. I'm going to say Baltimore 33, Buffalo 28. We'll say a nice 33-28 win for the Ravens. That's my prediction, but What are you guys feeling in chat? What are you guys thinking for today? You guys been rocking with the Bills or the Ravens in this one? Welcome, Wolfie. Love the emojis. Buffalo versus Ravens football. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Joao was saying it feels like the Ravens have had the best team in the league for the past 4 years, and yet they choke every year. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say, really, right? I mean, they keep getting the 1 seed in these first-round buys, and then they just can't seem to get over the hump. I mean, and I know it probably gets tiring to hear, but I really do feel like this year is their best shot. This team is just so loaded on both sides of the ball. I love this secondary to take a huge leap this year. Nate Wiggins had a really good rookie season. I think he could be a monster this year. Marlowe's really good, obviously. Maybe he doesn't quite repeat an all-pro level season, but, he's still a really good player in the slot. They seem to have really figured out something with Kyle Hamilton, moving him back to deep safety. I think we might see him come back into the box a little bit more this year with Malachi Starks coming in. I mean, and then even like Jair, like who knows how much Jair is going to play this season, but he's going to play tonight, right? I mean, that is a ridiculous secondary. So I don't know. Yeah, their defense is crazy. Joao's feeling 24-21 Ravens. Eagle Eyes has got the Ravens 24-23. Henry's got the Bills. Okay, I like it. He likes the Bills 30-27. Crowd is going to be a big factor. I mean, I could see it, right? This is one of the toughest places to play right here. And Sunday night, first game back after just a heartbreaking end to last season. For as much as the Ravens have their backs up against the wall, same exact thing could be said about the Bills. Yeah, it's going to be rocking. It is going to be rocking. Dude, as we get closer, I'm more and more fired up for this game, honestly. I don't know if this is a weird take or not, but like, even a few weeks ago, looking at the schedule, I was excited for this game, but I wasn't like up and ready. There's a part of me that's like, it's too early. Like we just saw this. We see this matchup a lot. Nah, forget all that, dude. Screw all that. We're like moments away from kickoff, and I'm like giddy with excitement now. I'm with you, Joao. Like a snow game would have been sick. Like if they had this in December, that would have been electric. But let's do this, man. We might have saved the best for last here. We are about to watch gods play quarterback. Again, there was a tweet that really just, and it's so stupid, right? And I don't even know who tweeted it. I'm not trying to like put the person who tweeted this on blast. This is just people yapping on Twitter. But a few years ago, when scoring first went down, there was someone that was like, we used to watch gods play quarterback. And it started this whole like discourse over whether like quarterback play is good or not in the NFL right now. Here you go, folks. We are about to watch gods play quarterback. These are guys that we're going to tell our grandchildren about right here. You want Marino versus Elway? You want Brady versus Manning? Here you go. We're underway. It's Bills-Ravens Sunday night in Orchard Park. Let's do this, folks. Let's go watch two Titans duke it out. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I'm loving this. Here comes Josh, the reigning MVP. We got to update the scoreboard here real quick. Oh, man. I think Buffalo's going to come out and try and run the ball early. I feel like that was something that really worked for them in their previous matchup, right? They're out in shotgun right now. See, do they have the 6 linemen? No. That's something I'm going to be really keeping a pulse on. How many times they have 6 linemen in the formation. Alec Anderson, he's their 6th lineman. He's like the 6th man, if you will, kind of like an NBA team. And he's good, dude. He's great at what he does. They're going to start with Dawson Knox, though. Okay. But I could see a big James Cook game here today. I like your take too, Henry. Cook is a better real-life player than fantasy. Yeah, because Josh takes so many of the rushing touchdowns and a lot of the rushing yards, and they do split up their carries. Like, we'll probably see a good amount of Ray Davis and Ty Johnson tonight too. Mark Andrews redemption touchdown first drive, that would be sick. John would do something like that to get his boys going, right? I could see it. 2nd and 2. Man, yeah, there you go. 2nd and short, and they run it. Some teams might want to take a shot play. If you got Josh, I won't blame you. But this is not the Buffalo Bills of a few years ago. Funny story. Henry will know what I'm talking about. There was a time where I was a Bills hater. I just hated the brand of football that they played, man. We're talking about Buffalo, big, tough city, outdoor stadium, rough and tumble franchise. And they're out here doing like all this 5 wide crap, and like they've got Naheem Hines out here and stuff, playing dishonorable football, losing in January every year. I love this new look Bills offense. Josh on the keeper. There you go. Third play of the game. They're having Josh keep it. They don't do a ton of designed runs for Josh anymore. It's not like they don't do it, but I feel like more of Josh's runs these days are scrambles than designed runs. But I like mixing in a keeper on the third play of the season. Again, sometimes you just got to keep them honest. And now every time you come out in shotgun, that's kind of in the back of your mind a little bit. Caden says he kind of forgot about Jair, thinks our young corners are a little underrated. I like Nixon, but our safeties, dude, Packers safeties. Oh my gosh, yeah. Evan Williams, man, he's the truth. Had a pick. X is always good out there too, right? I'm scared. That's what I'll say. Oh, nearly picked off. Looking for Shakir there. Throw maybe got a tad away from Josh. 3rd and long. Here we go. That takes away the run game. Now it's going to come down to these receivers beating the Ravens corners on the outside. Again, like I for the most part really do like this Bills receiver room, and I think that we could see some guys have some nice years. Keon Coleman is a guy I could see taking a leap. I love Shakir for the role that he plays as like a dirty work slot type of guy. They've got a new X out there. Well, I guess he's not at the X right now, but they got Josh Palmer as the other outside guy. Right, that's a big matchup on these third downs. Can this Bills receiver room show that they've taken the next step? Can they get some buckets on a pretty good Ravens secondary? That false start's going to help a lot. That can bring the run back into the equation now. Nnamdi Madubuike jumping off sides. He had a good year last year. Didn't have like the crazy production of a few years ago, but he's good. He can move. He's a good pass rusher. Wonder how much Mike Green will see tonight too. Ravens could certainly use some more juice in the pass rush. There you go. Just a little swing pass behind the line. Oh, Ty Johnson. There you go. Dude, yeah, Ty Johnson has been a really good security blanket for the Bills. He's a great option for Josh when the play breaks down too. I feel like he's one of the guys that Josh trusts the most out of structure. But I like drawing a touch up for him early, getting him going. You get Kincaid as a blocker out in space. Nice. Yeah, Brady will cook with those passes behind the line. It's impressive how much this Bills offense has transformed from the Daboll days and Dorsey to now Joe Brady. But I think they're better off for it. Another pass behind the line. Good tackle. There you go. Joao says he wishes the Seahawks could run this kind of plays. Yeah. And, again, like, it's week 1, right? And so with, like, pretty much every game, you do have to take, like, some precaution and some grains of salt with your reactions, right? For better or worse, I do like a quote that Aaron Rodgers gave when he was with the Jets, where he's like, you know what, it's week 1, like, everyone's going to have bad tape out there. There's going to be a lot of frustrating aspects on every team. First game under a new OC, yeah, they might take some time. And, new quarterback in there, new receivers. Oh, what a throw. Touchdown. What a start. There's Kincaid. Oh, baby. Man, he's another guy. If the Bills can get him going this year, that could really change things. Whew, that was a nice throw by Josh, though. Look at that. Tight window, just ripping it over the middle. Oh, baby. Was that on Roquan, too? Kind of. I mean, Roquan wasn't, like, manned up on him or anything. Throw beat Hamilton there, though. That's not easy to do. That was a bullet. Nice. All right. Well, there you go. For those that picked the Bills, pretty good start. So much for this vaunted unstoppable defense, right? Just a few plays in, touchdown Bills. How about it? Man. Yeah, that was a laser by Josh right there. Okay. All right. Game on. Your turn, Lamar and Derek. Let's go. You know what? For entertainment purposes, I think it's good that Buffalo scored first. I would love to see the Ravens kind of play from behind a little bit, and like they could still feed Henry a little bit, but I don't know, honestly. I feel like either team, like if they're playing from behind, we'll see some fireworks either way. And I love Derrick Henry, and I would love to see him go off, but just really want to see Lamar go out there, run around, and drop like 300 yards today. I think that'd be so fun. But all right, well, it's a commercial break. We could talk about some of the other stuff that's gone down here in week 1. Brent is asking, what week does Carson Wentz start, and why will it be week 2? Hey, oh no, well, no. We don't need to do that, right? Come on, JJ is gonna come in. He's gonna be fine. You know, he's going to throw for like 230 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And the Vikings are going to win 23-17. And all the talking heads are going to debate whether it was like real or not, or like how good he actually is. But you know what I'll say? Man, sure was nice to gain 230 yards and 2 touchdowns and win. Could care less how much he has to do with it. I mean, if we go out and we lay like 5 straight eggs, then like it's inexcusable. I will say, like, fair, like this might sound harsh, but like JJ McCarthy does have to be like at least decent, right? Like if we're 6 games in and the offense is a disaster, like I'm sorry, there's really not that much of an excuse, you know, unless like everyone's injured. We better not see Carson Wentz this year. That's what I'll say. We best not be seeing Carson Wentz this year. That would be a disaster. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about that, but but I like the Bison optimism right there, right? I mean, if Carson Wentz came in and played well for the Vikings, that jersey is going triple platinum in Fargo. But nah, we don't need that. We'll talk about the Packers next commercial break. How about that? Or the Packers-Lions game. But we're almost back here now. They're showing the high school, college path for Josh and Lamar. It is kind of crazy to think these guys were in the same draft class. What a historic class it was. Both with MVPs now. Yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Joao saying it's just every screen for the past 10 years has been absolute pain. Talking about the Seahawks. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I think you at least got to feel somewhat vindicated. I don't know how tapped in you are to college football, but I think you got to at least feel somewhat vindicated seeing Ryan Grubb kind of struggle a little bit in college, at least relatively speaking, right? Because he's back at Bama now with Kalen DeBoer. So that's something. If you're a Seahawks fan, you can at least take that away. But see, this is interesting. I feel like if you're Baltimore, you can still really stick with the opening script that you have. Like being down 7-0 isn't really that big of a deal, right? I think honestly, like similar to the Bills, if you're the Ravens, I won't hate as much as, even though I like just said I'd love to see Lamar go out there and just like run around. Like I won't hate pounding the rock with Henry to start things off and just like really figuring out how much they can handle it, right? I mean, when these two teams played on Sunday night in the regular season last year, Henry killed them. There you go. First play, go to Henry. Yeah, he looks fine. He'll be okay. He's going for like 1,600 yards this year. I already know off of one carry. It honestly boggled my mind seeing how low he would go in some of these fantasy drafts and just how low the consensus rankings were on him. It's like, I don't know. He's just such a safe bet to be good. Okay. Stand him up there, though. Force a third down. But hey, you could easily run it here. You could have a QB run with Lamar. You could just hand it to Henry again. Maybe you get something going to Zay Flowers in the flat. I don't know. Maybe you get Bateman going. If Bateman's not on Benford, he'd be a guy I'd look towards too. If you can get Bateman on the outside away from Benford, if you could get Bateman on Jamarcus Ingram, that might be a matchup I'd look towards as well. Looks like they got Justice Hill and probably going to be a pass then. They got Benford on Andrews, it looks like. Interesting. Bateman's at the top of your screen. I'd look his way. Oh, there's Justice Hill. Oh, I think he got it. Justice Hill, if you remember from last year, week 1, had like, 12 catches or something stupid in that Chiefs game. You guys remember that? Just all these swing passes to Justice Hill. We saw a lot of plays like that against the Chiefs last year. I think he got it, though. Good effort from Benford. Really special player. It bummed me out that he wasn't on the ESPN top 10 corners. Like, he didn't even get an honorable mention. Not a single exec named him as a top 10 corner. That kind of bummed me out. He's a good player. Oh, there's Andrews. Nice. Yeah. Bedford's so good in press, too. Oh, they're sorting things out on defense a little bit. I think they're good. Bedford in the slot now. I'm just tracking Bedford this drive, I guess. There's Henry. Ooh. Another injury to note. No Isaiah Likely for the Ravens either, and he's a pretty important part of what they do on offense. He's another one of those guys that's good after the catch. He's good at blocking out in space, and he had a fantastic season last year. That's another injury to note, I guess. There's a few injuries on each side, but all right, 3rd and 3. Henry comes off again. Hill really has established himself as the third down back here, unless it's like 3rd and 1, you know. And they'll hand it to him sometimes, but he's a good receiver. He's a good blocker. There you go. Lamar keeper. Nice. Yeah. Easy. I mean, I just don't know how you defend that, man. I mean, I don't know. As soon as you take the back, if you're the read defender, right? You take Hill, it's over. I mean, he's beating everyone else to the edge. He's got 3 blockers out there. Yeah. Yeah, and you don't necessarily see too many like big rushes from Lamar. Like, you don't see too many of those like 50-yard rushes that he had against the Bengals back in 2019. But he's a very good doubles hitter. Honestly, as a runner, he's kind of like Bijan Robinson a little bit. Although we saw B-Rob hit a home run today too. That was pretty sick. 3rd play of the season for the Falcons. There's Henry as a receiver. But a quiet game for him on the ground overall. And yeah, as Henry was saying, couldn't really get things going up the middle. You could kind of tee off on the outside, perimeter runs a little bit. But he did have 100 receiving yards. Okay, good question from Caden. Spiciest takeaway from the Sunday games? Ooh, see, I've got a few big ones. I don't know how spicy it is necessarily because I feel like everyone saw it and like it's fairly explicable. Oh, I'd have to think about that. But I do have like one big takeaway. Okay, here's what I'll say. So is that ball out? No, they're fine. I don't know how spicy this is, but this is something that honestly I was kind of feeling beforehand, and it really got reinforced from what I saw on the field. The Lions miss Frank Ragnow more than Ben Johnson. Their interior just got teed off on today. They couldn't really get the run game going, right? And it wasn't just Micah that was causing problems in the backfield. He got his sack and he had a few nice pressures and he had that pressure that set up the interception, right? But I mean, all the stunts that the Packers were running. I mean, the Lions couldn't. Also, that's crazy. Hold that thought. I said they weren't going to sack Lamar, and down he goes. Um, but I mean, the Lions they just could not handle any sort of interior pressure today. They struggled to get the run game going. Maybe some of that you can point the finger to, like, oh, new offensive coordinator. There's a learning curve, right? But man, they really missed Frank Ragnow out there. And again, I've been a little annoying about this, but I'm going to take my wins where I can, right? Giants lose, so I got to even it out with this, whatever. It changed everything for their offensive line. Taylor Decker was getting beat a little bit more today. Sewell got beat some today, right? Goff got sacked 4 times. I'd be curious to see how many of his dropbacks he was pressured on. That's a big takeaway right there. As bad as losing the coordinators hurt, losing Ragnow was a bigger deal. I really think so. Yeah, Van Ness was pretty good too. Yeah, Van Ness got a sack, right? And just the fact that he's able to be more of a situational and rotational piece now. Also, oh my gosh, that was almost insane. I saw the vision there. He's trying to hit Flowers for a touchdown. Just ran out of space. That was almost crazy though. But the fact that Van Ness is able to be a little bit more of like a high-end role player now too, and that he can just come along and develop a little bit more behind the scenes, yeah, that really does help things out too. So that's one big takeaway. Um, Another takeaway. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is like that. I like a tweet that Matthew Sponauer put out where he's like, the Bucks got Egbuka because they didn't worry about drafting for need, right? They just took the best guy out there, and it turns out they did actually need him today because they've been dealing with injuries in their receiver room. Yeah, sometimes you just got to take the guy that's like that, you know? So I think that's, I don't know. Ohio State, they always churn out those receivers. There's a reason that like every coach ever that's worked with him has had nothing but good things to say about him. And Baker Mayfield is saying like, this is the best, most polished rookie I've ever seen. And all these Ohio State fans are like, yeah, he's the truth. Like he's the greatest wide receiver too I've ever seen, you know? Yeah, he's dude. I mean, that touchdown at the end was crazy. And he's just so crisp in and out of his breaks. And he's such a good blocker. I mean, he's not like a crazy burner, but other than that, there's really not anything he's not good at, you know? Like, it's a very good receiver class. He's up there. He's up there. They really like honestly, when Godwin comes back, and I don't want to overreact too much, right? Because again, it's week 1. But let's say Godwin comes back like week 4 and Ibuka is averaging like 65 yards a game. It's like, do you really want to take him out? Like, it's tough, right? You know, like you're absolutely right, Eagle Eyes. Like it's going to be a hard decision to take him out. I had him going to Green Bay in a couple of my mock drafts. He would have been an unbelievable pick for them. But Golden looked pretty good today. Golden had a few nice catches. Love was playing well too. Look out, Lamar. There you go. Wow. Sack for the Bills. Down goes Lamar, and it's a huge loss. All right. Already eating my words. I didn't think he was going to get sacked today. I was a little worried about this Bills pass rush. There you go. Ed Oliver leading the charge. Maybe Lamar doing a little bit too much there, right? Quick pressure, right? So there's only so much you can expect. He's hanging in there. He's trying to stiff arm. Maybe he could have just thrown the ball away instead of trying to stiff arm the defensive tackle, you know. But a great rep right there by Ed Oliver. And all of a sudden, you know, it's a pretty easy kick. But this is, it's a 52-yarder. Tyler Loop, new kicker. Let's see this. Let's watch this real quick. That could be a very big sack. Oh, he got it. Yep. Ball curved back in. Tricky place to kick too, Buffalo. Outdoors in the elements. Crowd screaming full throat at you. Man, but all right. That's pretty promising for the Bills to start things off. You get a touchdown on the opening drive, hold them to a field goal. Not only do you get a sack on that play, I mean, you got after Lamar a few times if you're Buffalo. That's pretty encouraging. Already, the pass rush looking maybe a little bit stronger than it would have last year in a game like this. So, not a bad start for the Bills. Not a bad start for the Bills. Let's see. What are some other takeaways from week 1? Rodgers looked pretty good. I will say, like, it wasn't like, I don't want to be like too hard on him. Like he played a pretty good game, and it was nice to see like the deep ball was back and he was playing loose and confident. I'm not going to go out there and be like, oh my gosh, he's throwing 4 touchdowns every single week. This is so sustainable and like he's going to win MVP, you know. But I think he can go out on a better note than he did with the Jets for sure. And he wasn't even necessarily bad with the Jets last year, but you know what? Maybe he's got one final like decent season in him. The arm talent is still there a little bit. If he can stay bought in for 17 games, which is not necessarily a guarantee, but if he can, okay, maybe there's a little something here. Maybe they'll at least be worth watching a little bit. Maybe that's a team that like I'll tune into a little bit more. So there's that. And Fields looks pretty good. I think overall, like the quarterback swap for those two teams worked out pretty well considering their timelines. Jets are trying to rebuild, get a little bit younger, just kind of figure things out. Fields is a good guy to bring in for that. Maybe he keeps us up all season and you're like, let's go. We got a good young quarterback who's finally in a good environment. But if not, you're not married to the guy. You can move on from him pretty easily. Here's one that like, and I don't have like, I can't say this with too much authority yet because I'll be honest, I didn't watch a ton of this game. I saw like a few clips on Twitter and stuff, but I didn't like necessarily have the game on or anything. But this is one that I'm actually going to be interested to go back and watch the all 22 of. Broncos Titans. Cam Ward, from what I saw, he made a few nice throws in there, a few nice tight window completions against a very good defense. And I've got to say it. And again, I'll go back and I'll review everything, right? Because so far, all I've really seen from it is a few plays and then the box score. So I can't speak with too much authority. But based off of what I already think about this player and just like what I did see, Bo Nix, okay. All right. We saw a little bit of this from him in September last year. How can we take the next step for Bo Nix, right? How can we prevent more games like these from happening? Because he had a few games like these last year. What can we do besides like putting on massive training wheels on the offense? Because I do think this is a pretty good team. And they won, right? They made it work. But that, it won't fly against the Ravens. It won't fly against the Chiefs. It won't fly against the Bills. So is there another level that we can hit here without just like spamming the swing passes and the screens and everything? And he did have a nice throw to Sutton. Like that touchdown to Sutton was pretty nice, right? Just put the ball up, give your receiver a chance, tacking downfield. Yeah, but I don't know. There are slight Mac Jones allegations in the sense that like nice rookie season, but like I don't know, you could maybe see the downfall coming a little bit. But I don't think the downfall will be quite as severe as Mac Jones was, if that made sense. I think if anything, his downfall will be more so like he doesn't grow much beyond what we saw last year, which was all right. Oh no. Parker says I owe him $70 for the Jalen Noel pick, or he's never passing in 2K. Dude, I better pay up $70 right now then, because he better be passing me the rock in 2K. No. Dude, I didn't even check on that pick that much. I saw Noel had one catch in like the third quarter or something, and I was like, surely he'll get another, right? I watched a good amount of that Texans-Rams game. Yeah, he just wasn't out there a whole lot. And it was just kind of an ugly game for the Texans offense in general. That's another takeaway that you can have. And it kind of ties into Pear Champ's take a little bit, which welcome, by the way, Pear Champ. Congrats to your Packers. Good Lord, I'm scared to play you guys. But again, I'm curious to see how many times Stroud actually got sacked today, but I don't know. It just felt like a lot of what we saw last year, running for his life. And it's like, yeah, they brought in some new guys. Are we sure the line is actually better, though? Rams D looked pretty good, too. I mean, that's a pretty good unit. Yeah, that Texans line. I mean, there's just really, outside of Stroud and Nico, there's just really not much on this offense right now. There really isn't. And it's a shame because that defense is legit. And I still think Stroud is legit, and I love Nico. But that offense, man, I don't know. The division is... Oh, careful. Did that actually hit the Ravens? Oh my gosh, is he going to house it? That's crazy. Yeah, the ball bounced. It looked like it might have hit a Raven there. The Bills grabbed it. No way. No way the Bills get the ball back like that. Let's see this. Who did it hit first? Oh, I think it hit a Bill first. But I don't know if that necessarily counts or not, right? Like if it just hits the knee, is that the same as him like touching the ball to down it? Yeah, okay. Okay, so it is just Ravens ball. So if it just hits you, like you don't have to intentionally touch it. That makes sense, I guess. Whew, that was a close one right there. Oh, baby. That was a little scary. But it's Ravens ball. Ravens ball. Quick first quarter. Almost done with the first quarter. But Pear Champ's hype for the Packers and Rams defense. Yeah, two pretty good looking units. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, let's check in on how's this game going so far. Allen's 3 for 4. Ty Johnson with the 17-yard rush. Then Kincaid had the touchdown. I mean, it's been a pretty quick first quarter. I think this is this the second drive for the Bills? No, second drive for the Ravens, dude. I'm tripping. Bills have had 2 drives. Fourth drive here. Bills off to a pretty good start, though. Eagle Eye saying Stroud did a great job navigating the pocket, but he stood no chance. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? I mean, I saw Man, there were just some plays where like literally the entire pocket was engulfing him, and there's just absolutely nothing he could have possibly done to get out of there. You know, when you're losing that quickly, you just like it can completely sink an offense, no matter how good your quarterback is or how good your receiver is. It can kill you. It's a bummer. It really is. I don't know. Do you guys have any big takeaways from week one? Got some pop for the Packers and Rams defense, which I can get down with. But man, I Parker really tailed me on the Knoll pick, didn't he? That's tough. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It's not been a great season for me so far on prize picks. It's a good thing I'm just doing like $5 each on them. Let's just say I haven't won yet, so that's kind of tough. I played a little bit on Thursday, played a little bit today. No wins yet so far, which is a little unfortunate. And I feel like, I mean, it's just been a weird stats day so far. That's another takeaway, right? It's week one. Teams are figuring things out, ironing things out. We saw a lot of weird, funky performances. I mean, Nico Collins had like 30 yards. Bijan Robinson rushed for like 30 yards, right? Even like Joe Burrow and the Bengals offense was like kind of quiet, you know? Like, Chase had 3 catches for 20 yards and something like that. T. Higgins led the Bengals in receiving with like 33 yards. So just kind of a funky start for a lot of teams. Really outside of like Herbert and the Chargers on Friday. And I guess like Hurts had a pretty productive and good game on Thursday. And, you know, like we saw some guys play well today, but overall, a lot of big names with like quieter performances, if you will. Fun fact, Tyler Warren hit. Maybe I should have listened to you. Maybe I should have taken you instead of Jalen Knoll. That'd be $20 richer right now. And I could have got some VC. No, I don't need any more of that right now. First down run with Henry. Look at that hole. Look at that hole. You know, the Ravens line got a little bit of flack last season, but I really do think overall it is a pretty good unit. Ronnie Stanley returning to form was a nice little bonus for them. Tyler Linderbaum is a phenomenal center. And like Roger Rosengarten has come along pretty well, right? I don't know if they've got Daniel Falele out there right now. He's definitely like the biggest problem on the line. Oh, Flowers. Oh, careful with that ball. But 1 through 5, like it's still a pretty good unit. They can maul people in the run game, and they're at least good enough pass protectors for Lamar, right? You don't have to be the most crazy pass protection unit in the world when you've got someone like Lamar who can escape out of all these things. But do we have injury? Oh, Lamar injury maybe, getting banged up a little bit. I love when they get big and they get an I formation, though. That's so sick. There's Henry. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who Kolar is. Was his name like Charlie Kolar or something? They've had him at fullback a lot so far. I'm gonna look that up. That sounds right. I know they've got Patrick Ricard too. Yeah, Charlie Kolar. They have lined him up in the backfield a lot. Big dude, 6'6", 265. I love going. This is a super nerdy thing. But I love going on a website called NFL Elo, and it's got like a bunch of different like I don't know, not dumb stuff. You know what I mean? Like advanced stats and then like team tendencies and stuff like that. In fact, let me just show you what I'm talking about. But I love looking at the Ravens formation tendencies on there and how it like if you just go by like other, like cuz they've got like their typical formations. If you just go by other, the Ravens always lead in other. Let me pull it up here real quick. Sorry, it's a little side tangent, but they recently redid their site, so I kind of have to navigate through things a little bit. My mic arm is blocking stuff. How do I filter by year? You know what? Well, we might just do this later. I don't know that I could find it, but personnel, formation groupings, other. You guys get the point. The Ravens are always leading in other because they just come out in all these weird heavy sets, especially ever since Todd Monken took over. That's the point I was trying to make. I can't see my like actual screen right now very well just because my Mike Arma's blocking things a little bit. So you're just going to have to trust me on this. But that's a site. That's another one of those sites I just spend way too much time on. But the Ravens, man, they get funky with it. I talk about the Cardinals being funky on defense with their personnel groupings and formations. That's the Ravens on offense too. Yeah. Pear Champ is saying there's a chance I beat Caden in fantasy, but he needs Henry to have a legacy game. We've seen it before. And I tell you what, we are going to be peeping scores in the fantasy league at halftime, right? Already did our grid earlier today. We'll do a little fantasy roundup here at halftime, see how things are shaking out. I got to say, my team's looking all right so far. But we'll see if Henry can get this legacy game or not. What are we talking for a legacy game? Are we saying like 200 yards, 2 touchdowns type of legacy game, or like is a $125 and a touch going to get it done? What are we looking at in this matchup here? Caden, you sure you don't want to start Jordan Mason? I know, he might be pretty good this year. Might be solid. Or maybe you should trade him to me, actually, because he's not going to start. Aaron Jones is a lot better, and I think you should trade Jordan Mason to me. All right, what are we cooking with here, Todd? 2nd and 8. Play action, maybe? Oh, they're going to get in shotgun now. They got Bateman one-on-one on the outside. Off coverage, but it's there. There's Bateman. Nice. I love me some Rashad Bateman. Oh, okay, he's good. Again, I almost started him in one of my dynasty leagues tonight, but I switched him out last second. Again, he's not always going to go off every game, right? It's just such a deep offense, and they run a lot. Like, he's honestly not the best player to have in fantasy. He's another one of those guys where I think he's a much better player in real life than he is in fantasy. But every once in a while, when they do get him the rock, they get him like 8 targets, he'll go off, and he'll have like a solid 90-yard game. Oh, Benford versus Bateman up top now. Nice. Lamar keeper again. That's been their go-to on 3rd down so far. Kind of reminds me of that game against the Steelers in the wild card last year. Remember that? When they just spammed like 8 straight QB keepers with Lamar? That was like the whole drive was just runs with Lamar. And they were doing that when Henry was out there. Now, like, the edge guy, that's Bosa, still reading Hill the whole time, right? Both times they've run that. Hill has been the guy that they've ran towards. Lamar's like, cool, I'll keep it. Like, you would almost rather Hill take it than Lamar, I think. 25 additional points for Henry. It's possible. Well, that's going to help. Henry rumbling. Oh, my goodness. Touchdown. There you go. Ravens take the lead. Unk still got it, folks. This man ain't going anywhere. He's going to be good until he's like 35. Unreal. Just a little toss play, right? It's not even just that he's so good downhill, but he's fast. He can move. Just a little toss play in space. Great block right there by 84, and he's gone. Stiff arm. Oh, good night. Let's go. Oh, I thought there was a flag for real. You're just hoping for a flag. Oh my gosh, there's Cole Bishop. Poor guy. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're going to target him on the ground game too. Kick is up and good. Ravens take the lead. Ejection. You're going to have to make the call. Have him do a Jalen Carter type of thing. Maybe you could spit on Josh Allen. By golly, dude. What a generational player. Already 6 for 52 and a touchdown. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Right on cue. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Bo Nix was pretty rough today. You know? It's a situation I'm monitoring. That's what I'll say. Who do the Broncos play next week? Who does Denver play next week? Let me pull up Denver's schedule here. But they did eke by. Oh, they got the Colts next week. A defense that looked pretty good today. I don't know. Maybe Anarumo got him right a little bit. Also, how about Daniel Jones? How about Daniel Jones hooping today? You know what? Good for him. Another graduate of the KOC Shelter for Lost Quarterbacks. Hey, come to the Vikings. You'll be better. What else is there to say? Just simply by existing in our organization, our aura rubbed off on him, and now he just has to be good, you know? But yeah, that was crazy. Dolphins getting absolutely spanked. Here's a takeaway. Mike McDaniel, first head coach fired this season. I'm calling it. I'm feeling it. I don't know. Mid-season, I don't know, man. The vibes cannot possibly be great right there, right now. I know like Tyreek Hill was getting a little animated on the sideline, and the offense just looks broken. And I mean, just what a terrible way to start the season. You know, he was already on the hot seat. That certainly didn't help matters. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do we think they can hang with the Jets this year? I'm honestly feeling a little better about my Jets over Dolphins for the division take. Dolphins finished last. I don't know. I don't know, man. Danny Dimes, they have to give him $200 million. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how the other 16 games go. But I gotta say, like, I was honestly pretty impressed, and it wasn't all of what I predicted either. Like, there were a few nice downfield shots in there. He hit Alec Pierce down the sideline for a nice chunk play. That touchdown to Michael Pittman, that was a pretty nice throw downfield. You know, like, it wasn't just like this baloney 4 yards average depth of target, spamming RPOs and screens. Like, he played pretty good football today, and good for him. I mean, that man has been through the ringer with everything. So it was nice to see the sunshine on Daniel Jones for a day. And who knows, you know, maybe we got some pieces there. Again, AFC South could be a slightly interesting division. That's what I'll say. There's a 3-way tie for the Pick'em League. You are Tyson. Okay, well, there you go. We'll probably check out the Pick'em Challenge too here. The picks competition at halftime. 3-way tie right now. I actually haven't checked it yet. Just mentally in my head, I'm thinking like, I think I'm doing pretty well right now. I know last year I finished like bottom half. I did not have the best year in that last year. So we're trying to get a little bit of redemption. Oh, Keon. Oh. They had a screen drawn up for him. He just dropped it. Keon kind of struggled with drops a little bit last year, too. The play that always comes to mind for me was, I can't remember what team it was against, but it was in early November. Bills were in the red zone, ran an RPO. Keon Coleman was the pass read as the slant. Wide open. Josh just rips it. Would have been an easy walk-in touchdown. Just bounces off of Coleman's hands, pops up in the air, intercepted. And it's like, man, like, just frustrating little moments like that. But he showed just enough, and I liked him coming out of college where I think there might be something there. But another drop right there on a screen. That's got to be frustrating. You're trying to get your young guy going with an easy look, and he can't catch the ball. Yeah. There's Palmer. I think that's his first catch of the game. Third down. Let's see what the Ravens come out with here on third down, right? Team that doesn't necessarily blitz a ton, but when they do, they can get really weird with it. We can see Kyle Hamilton come up and blitz maybe. Again, I'm looking out for Mike Green, seeing if he's out there right now. I see Jair on the bottom of the screen. Marlowe's lurking in the slot. Looks like they got Hamilton deep, but they're crowding the line. Oh, Matt Abike nearly got his hand on the screen. The ball. Good series for the Ravens defense right there. 2 screens from the Bills on that drive. A screen on 1st and 10 and then a screen on 3rd down. They haven't really let Josh rip it yet so far. Outside of that throw to Kincaid, and even that, I mean, it was like a throw over the middle, but they haven't really let Josh drop back and rip it yet so far. A lot of screens, a lot of stuff behind the line of scrimmage. He's probably got a pretty low ADOT right now. But here we go. Man, now this is where things get dangerous if you're Buffalo, right? Ravens getting the ball back. Henry fresh off a touchdown drive. They'd be more than content to just keep feeding the beast, right? Lamar's only passed 6 times so far in this game. Running game has been working for the Ravens so far, that's for sure. What are they at for rushing yards right now? 90 rushing yards already. They're averaging 9 yards a carry. As a team, they've got 10 carries for 90 yards. Good Lord. Oh my gosh. Henry has 6 for 52. Lamar has 2 for 29. Zay Flowers had that 8-yard carry, and then Justice Hill has a 1-yard rush. My goodness. Oh my gosh. Pearchamp asked if I think Derrick Henry passes Adrian Peterson for most rushing touchdowns in a career. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to look that up and see what their totals are because I don't know that off the top of my head. I could not tell you where each player stands. So Henry's at 106, 107 now after that other touchdown, right? And Adrian Peterson is at 120. I think he will. I could see Derrick Henry playing at a pretty high level for a few more years. I think we could get to the point where we have some very interesting conversations about just how high Derrick Henry can get in like some of these all-time stat leaderboards, right? And the big thing is going to be like when he starts to run out of gas, there's going to have to be some team that's going to like let him stat pad, right? Like he's obviously not going to be in his prime forever. And even though his longevity is crazy, like realistically talking, when he's 35, he's probably not going to be going for like 1,500 yards, right? If you look at like Emmitt Smith's career and like how he was able to get such a crazy career total, I'm not like one bit. Oh my gosh, Henry breaking free again. Are you kidding me? Pearchamp, dude, you got to be feeling great right now. Holy crap. Derrick Henry's already over 100 yards. Oh my gosh. This dude is unstoppable. I mean, shoot, maybe I should have picked him for Offensive Player of the Year. Look at Bateman blocking downfield, and then he just gets a crease and just explodes through it. Just guys bouncing off of him. I mean, what do you do? He has 114 total yards. Buffalo has 56. Oh, man. I mean, this is like... It's like LeBron and Durant on the same team. It's like Curry and KD. Really. I mean, seriously, that's what this is. It's Curry and KD on the Warriors. It is an unfair combination. Brent saying he's going to stat pad against the Browns. He's going to be stat padding against everyone, bro. I mean, he's stat padding against the Bills right now. I mean, I wouldn't call this stat padding, but, you know. Baltimore rolling right now. Run game rolling. We'll stick with that Henry thought here after this play. Lamar keeper. Oh, my gosh, he's in. And just like that, Ravens are up by... After the PAT, up by 10. Oh, my goodness. How many rushing yards did Baltimore go for in 2019 when they set the record for most yards by a team? I don't know. Is their own record in danger? Oh, my goodness. Another quarterback keeper, and Lamar is the guy that gets to... Or it's another option play. Lamar is the guy that gets to keep it. Sweet mother of pearl. I mean, I'm looking at the win probability chart. Look at how quickly that thing swang. Oh my gosh. Buffalo entered the game as the favorites. They score an early touchdown. You're looking at like 66%. All the way up to 75.6% for the Ravens now. Wow. Lord have mercy. But anyways, for Derrick Henry's career stats, like if I were to go to Pro Football Reference right now, and I'm not going to switch my screen because that would throw everything off right now. That's just the reality of the streaming setup I've got right now. But if I were to go to like career leaders, you know what? Screw it. No, let's just do it. It's fine. We can make it work. It's okay. We could be flexible. Here we go. Pro Football Reference. If we go to leaders, rushing yards, career leaders, right? Let's see where Derrick Henry is right now. Like Derrick Henry is 19th, but there's a lot of guys that he could pass this season, right? I mean, realistically, if we do a little bit of math here, let's say he goes for 1,000 yards, which is like a pretty low bar. He passes Jim Brown, you know. If he goes for, like, he could realistically find himself up at like 10th all time after this season. Again, it's going to be hard to pass Emmitt Smith just because, and I don't want to downplay Emmitt Smith's career, but really like these last few years where he's like 33, 34, 35, especially, right? He's 35 years old on the Cardinals. And I hate to say this, but honestly, he's just kind of stat padding here, right? Like some team would have to kind of let Derrick Henry do that. Some team that might not necessarily be a competitor. Like, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Like if he went back to the Titans or something, right? He goes back to the Titans and he chases like rushing records or something like that. But he has a ways to go. But I mean, we're watching this game right now. He doesn't show any signs of slowing down. He'll be 32 soon, right? He doesn't show any signs of slowing down whatsoever. He had 1,900 yards last year, second most of his career. I mean, what's to stop him from like getting another 1,600 this year and then like 1,400, 1,000, like if he plays for a while, he could make a run at some records. Emmitt Smith might be hard, but like, could he pass Adrian Peterson for rushing yards and touchdowns? Oh yeah, for touchdowns for sure. Like he could pass Peterson for touchdowns this season. Because like there's like a 14 touchdown difference between the two guys, I think. Like he could pass AP as soon as this season for touchdowns. I think he could get him for yards too. I really think he could. Ravens are going for 300 rushing yards today. I mean, how many do they have now after that drive? 154. Yeah, they actually might. Well, here we go. It's the Bills who are going to have to play from behind, right? Maybe we can see Josh open it up a little bit now. Maybe we can let Josh drop back and rip it some. Again, we haven't really seen a ton of that so far. 7 attempts, only 26 yards. Let's see a shot downfield. I know he dropped a pass earlier on the screen. Let's give Keon Coleman a chance here. I want to see him go downfield a little bit. Henry saying kind of crazy how incredible the Ravens offense is able to be without ever having an elite wide receiver threat. Dude, I'm glad you brought that up because here's another like tangent that I love going off on. And I don't know if I've talked about it too much on this channel. After this carry, we'll get into it a little bit. And it's not like they've had bad receivers. Like I like Bateman. I like Flowers. Hollywood Brown was pretty good for a little bit, right? But no, they've never really had high-end wide receiver production. Like, they've never had a dude out there, right? But you know what's interesting? If you were to go on, like, next-gen stats and look at which team had the most average yards of separation from their wide receivers last season, guess who it was? It was the Ravens. And I think it's pretty easy to figure out why. It's because Lamar is so good at just like buying time and making stuff happen when the play breaks down, right? I mean, how many times have we seen Lamar like hit Zay Flowers downfield after he scrambles and like avoids a rusher and there's like no one within 10 yards of Zay Flowers, right? Not necessarily because Zay like won on the initial route, but if you're a DB, realistically, this is the NFL, right? Realistically, you can only cover for so long, right? If you get good coverage for 5 seconds, that should be enough. You have to cover for 8 seconds. Like, I don't care how good you are or how bad your receivers might be. They're going to find open space and it's over, So I know this has been like a crazy Lamar praise sesh so far this stream, but I just really cannot emphasize enough, like I really do think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And I know there's the whole playoff thing with him or whatever, but just what you see on the field and some of the underlying stuff like that, like just weird stats like that, or like the fact that he has the longest average time to throw in the NFL, and yet he's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. Like a good comp is like Jokic, and just like, yes, it's like stupid spreadsheet stats or whatever, but he's just such an outlier on some of these things. And the fact that his team is consistently good when he plays, like he's a good player. That's what I'll say. They're able to make it work because they have a uniquely talented quarterback who's really good at mitigating poor receiver play. Kind of like the way the Packers were for a few years with Aaron Rodgers, right? Like there were some years where the Packers didn't necessarily have crazy wide receiving rooms, But they're able to make it work because, similar to Lamar, Rodgers is just ridiculously good at making stuff happen when the play broke down. And like, dude, it would drive me crazy when I was in middle school watching the Packers being like, dude, like, their receivers aren't good. How are they getting so open? Like, Rodgers just sits and runs around and then eventually they get open. Like, they're not good, you know? Like, it's insane. See if Josh can make something happen on third down. Oh, there you go. There's Keon. Right on cue. And everything that I said about Lamar creating out of structure, you could also apply to Josh Allen, right? I mean, he is almost equally as ridiculous at making stuff happen. Oh my goodness, what a throw and catch, right? That's just what makes this matchup so much fun. There's Knox. And I was really happy with watching Friday's game because Mahomes is obviously in that category too. We just hadn't seen much of it recently. It's ironic because the Chiefs lost, but last Friday was like the most fun I had watching Mahomes in a long time, honestly. And it was just nice to see that he could still do it. You saw glimpses of it last year, and you saw a good amount of it in 23 and 22 especially. But it was nice to see a little bit more of like a 2018 type of Mahomes game on Friday. So, I mean, that's why those three are the best in the business. That is probably the best skill that you can have as a quarterback, is creating when the play breaks down. Not just running, but like being able to make crazy throws when you're moved off your spot too. And these two guys we're watching tonight, they're both pretty special at that. So, because it's not like the Bills have a crazy receiver room either. You can work around that if you've got a dude. Anyway, that was a long tangent, but I don't know. I just love talking about stuff like that. So I'm glad you brought that up. That was awesome. The score, the whole game really turned on its head, honestly. Army, Navy, the Baltimore Ravens running the rock. Let's go, baby. That's real honorable football right there. See, now you're in second and short, you can get back to your run packages. Not much doing there, though. Ravens' run defense has looked considerably better than the Bills so far. There's King Henry on the sideline. Cook with 6 for 17 right now. Yeah, I mean, Ravens' line has kind of answered the call so far. 3rd and 3. Yeah, Chris is saying this is all Josh Allen. I want Hay a designed rollout right here. I want Hay to sprint out, and Josh can either... Oh, they got him under center. Shakir, they love doing that little funky handoff to Shakir. They did that a few times last year too. They gave Shakir a touchdown with that like same exact play. I'm trying to remember which team it was against, but they ran that same exact play for a touchdown with Shakir last year. I think it was against the Jets. They love that play. Good blocking too. All right. Joe Brady dipping in the bag a little bit. I like it. Again, so much running in this game. We're already at like 4.5 minutes here in the second quarter. Allen? Oh. Gonna be a considerably quicker stream than the last game stream. I was like, knock on wood. I was like, hopefully there's no weather delays. We had another one today, obviously, with the Jaguars-Panthers game. Mother Nature just couldn't handle the aura of that matchup, but no weather delay here today, please. I won't hate getting to bed at a reasonable time. I woke up at like 5 in the morning today. I don't know if I was just like excited or what, but I woke up at 5. I could not fall back asleep. So I've been on demon time a little bit, but we're here. Timeout, maybe? No, they're going to snap it. I thought Josh was about to call timeout there. A few yards there. Setting up another obvious passing down, though. I don't know if this will be 4-down territory for the Bills, just thinking ahead here. McDermott isn't crazy aggressive on 4th down. We did see him go for it on 4th down against the Chiefs in the regular season last year. If you remember that Josh Allen touchdown to ice the game and give the Chiefs their first loss. But overall, McDermott isn't the most aggressive coach on 4th down. So I say that to say, I think they'll probably throw past the sticks here. If this were the Eagles, they might try and get like 5 yards here, or the Lions, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, they do throw. I mean, that was just Josh going through his progressions. I don't think Shakir was the first read on that play necessarily. They probably will kick it. But like if that was the Eagles, they might have intentionally tried to like get Devontae Smith a short look and have him turn upfield. And like if he gets the first down, that's sick. But really all we want is like 6 yards, you know? Yeah, I think Keon was the first read there. He was looking Coleman's way. He just couldn't win in time. Had to get the ball out. That's the right play. Josh did the right thing there. Wait, that's Matt Prater is their kicker? That's right. They did say his name. That's crazy. Matt Prater. He has been kicking for a minute, man. I remember he was like, I don't know if he was actually in the league when I first started watching football, but I remember he was the Broncos kicker when they had Peyton and those crazy offenses, and he hit that 64-yarder against the Titans. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting to hear Matt Prater's name tonight. That's insane. Let me look up Matt Prater now. He's with the Lions and Cardinals for a little bit too. They said he took a red eye. Did they like just bring him in? I suppose Tyler Bass got hurt, right? Yeah, there's Matt Prater. Pro Football Reference. Yeah. Oh, he started with the Falcons? I didn't even know that. I had no idea he was with the Falcons. Oh, he was with the Cardinals last year, at least for like a few games. But yeah, he was in the NFL when I first started watching football in 2009. That's crazy. I guess it makes sense for a kicker, right? Like, these guys could obviously stick around for a while, but goodness, Matt Prater mentioned. Matt Prater seen. I saw someone, I think was it Brent that was asking about Red Zone? Yeah, I had Red Zone up on my laptop. So I had my whole system, right, for the 1 o'clock window. For the 1 o'clock window, I had the Falcons game on the big screen, and then I had Giants Commanders on one of my smaller screens, and then I had for a little bit Jaguars Panthers, and then I switched to Raiders Patriots on one of my other screens. And then I had Red Zone up on my laptop, and then I had my phone for checking Twitter and ESPN. I had like 5 screens. Stimmy Central, as I like to say. Um, um, so that was crazy. And Christine ended up posting a TikTok about it that like kind of went viral. So many people were saying like, I don't know, apparently people in the comments are saying like, why doesn't he just get Sunday Ticket? It's like, dog, like if you want me to get Sunday Ticket, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel and send me a super chat, you know, like as much as I'd love Sunday Ticket, right now we're watching crack streams on my monitor, you know, like we're going on total sport tech, if you know what I'm saying. but so I had Red Zone up for a little bit. I'll be honest, like the commercials were there, and like the biggest thing is like it just bugs me as like a principle that they have commercials, right? The whole point of Red Zone is 7 hours of commercial free football or 8 hours or whatever it is. Like that's the whole point of it. That's what it's built on, right? And I don't know. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way seeing all these ESPN employees be like, "Nuh-uh, wasn't us. It had nothing to do with us. Nuh-uh, like it's only like 0.3% of the whole show that there's commercials." Yeah, well, it used to be 0. Like, come on, dude. And it starts like oh, it's only like 2 minutes. Yeah, well, it starts with 2 minutes, and like, what am I going to do, right? Not watch Red Zone? Like, whatever. I'm hopelessly addicted to football and dopamine. Like, I'm going to have 3 games up and Red Zone too, obviously, right? What am I going to do? Get other hobbies? No, of course not. but, but, but it's just like, come on, man. Like, I'm really supposed to believe that ESPN taking over NFL media has absolutely nothing to do with all of a sudden now commercials are being shown in Red Zone? Like, I'm sorry, man. I just have a hard time buying that, you know? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I still watched it today. So what does that make me? I'm a sucker, right? Like, they're going to get me either way, dude. I can complain about all these, like, weird time slots now. Like, I don't know that there should be a game on Friday. Fridays are sacred for me, you know? But, like, I still watch the game on Friday. So what does that make me? There's Henry again. Are you kidding me, dude? Just like a casual 20-yard carry. I will say, I did read an interesting article on Awful Announcing this morning, though, when I was like up at 5 in the morning. Next year, there will be no Friday game. And I think it actually talked about the Sports Broadcasting Act on here before. But there will be no Friday game next year because of an act of Congress that prohibits NFL games from taking place within 75 miles of a high school or college on a Friday within a certain time frame of the calendar. And the reason that the NFL was able to have games on Friday the past 2 years was, one, they had them in Brazil, so they were able to take care of the location thing, right? A little bit of a loophole there. And two, just the way that Labor Day fell. The NFL season kind of started at a weird time. The NFL season started earlier. So technically, like this past Friday, did not quite fall in the Sports Broadcast Act of 1961. So the NFL was allowed to show a game on Friday. So of course they're like, yeah, we're going to do it. But next year they will not because Labor Day is later. So the first Friday of the NFL season will be protected by the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. So just a heads up, there will be no Friday Brazil game next year, if you're wondering why. If you're looking at the schedule when it comes out next year, like, oh, why no Brazil game? Now you know. Unless it gets repealed, which there have been talks in Congress about. There have been considerations of repealing the act, and honestly, I'm against it. Let's just keep Friday sacred. Let's let high school football have its moment. And as much as I love football, I do not need the NFL trying to pry from my attention every single day of the week. I already give it Sunday, Monday night, and Thursday night, and occasionally Saturday. I'm good. We don't need more. It's okay. It's okay. You can make 1 billion instead of 2 billion. It's okay. Anyways, that was just something interesting I read this morning. But Brent saying Justin Tucker might have another job in the NFL. It might be in Cleveland. Oh, I was just like, there's no way, right? I mean, they do need a kicker. I feel like that would be a PR disaster, though, right? If the Browns of all teams brought in Justin Tucker, considering their quarterback and considering the fact that, like, they immediately signed Isaiah Bond as soon as, like, that whole thing, I don't even want to say got cleared up. I don't fully know what happened, but, like, pretty much as soon as it was like, okay to sign him, they, like, immediately jumped on it, Like, I feel like that would be just a PR nightmare if they signed Justin Tucker, but that would be pretty I mean, you never know with that ownership group. You never know. 8 more points for Henry. I think he's going to get it. I mean, unless at this point you have to hope, Pear Champ. I think you have to hope that like the Bills hang around enough, and so then like Henry doesn't get like pulled from the game, or they don't let up on him at least. Like you have to hope that it's not like a lot more Justice Hill in the second half to kind of preserve Henry a little bit. The Ravens did draft Mike Green. Yeah, and they've had an interesting history with that kind of stuff too. And I'll be honest, like, let's be real. We could like scrutinize every single NFL organization and like there's players with questionable morals on there, right? One of our starting receivers has had a bit of an issue with following driving laws and driving sober, right? Like, you can do that for every team. So I'm not trying to say like, oh, like every team is like, or like some teams are more evil than others, but you know. Doctor said I could kick you from the Discord if you beat me. Talking to Pear Champ. that was off the record. No, okay. Go Pear Champ. That's crazy. Oh, man. Things heating up already. Week 1. That's crazy. I suppose you do have the power to kick people in Discord, don't you, Caden? I think you do. I think you have like pretty much all the same powers that I do in that server. That's crazy. Wet Reckless. Yeah, wet Reckless is crazy phrasing. Unfortunately, the quote I said on draft night is evergreen when it comes to him a little bit. Oh no, he's stupid. I wanted Will McDonald, who actually had like a pretty good game today. 3rd and 5. Let's see what the Ravens got. Can they keep this rolling? Oh, it looked like Andrews and Flowers ran the same route there. Did Zay catch that? He did. Did it look like they were running the same exact route? I don't know if there's a little bit of miscommunication there or if that's just how the play was designed. But they're like fighting for the ball almost. Good catch by Zay though. Look at that, keeping one hand underneath. Oh yeah, he's a GOAT mod for sure. Mod and producer, dare I say. Oh yeah, you know it. We scoring all night. Let's go get paid. But you know what? Hopefully tomorrow night we scoring all night. That's what I'll say. Hopefully we scoring all night tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm nervous for that game. I really am. I think a lot of it is just the Vikings fan in me. And this is such like a dangerous thing to say. But like, if we're gonna be honest, like we should beat the Bears, right? Like I'm sorry. Maybe a biased Vikings fan. We're a better team than them, right? We should beat them. But you never know, right? It's Monday night in Soldier Field. Cursed matchup. Weird stuff happens all the time. The ball's out. Justice Hill going a million yards backwards. Loss of 15. If I'm Buffalo, I'm taking a timeout right here. Yep, right on cue. Spam that timeout. If you can hold them to 3 at least, I mean, shoot, like they're kind of behind the 8 ball a little bit, you know. It was Bosa that punched it out there. Set up a long field goal attempt outdoors in the elements, right? But at the very least, you want to try and get the ball back here, even if you're down 10. If you can go into halftime down like 3 after just a beating from Derrick Henry in the first half, you'll live with that, right? That's a big, big play right there. Completely changes the script of the drive now for the Ravens. Welcome, Sam. Good to have you in here. Say the Browns are already a PR nightmare. Might as well just send it. I mean, at what point do like organizations get involved if they brought in Tucker, you know? Like, I don't know. That would be something. At what point would Rodgers step in and be like, nah, sorry, we can't do this? You know, I was actually thinking about this. It was like, Rodgers should have stepped in and vetoed the Micah to the Packers trade. You know, like David Stern vetoed the Chris Paul to the Lakers trade. Why couldn't Roger have done that for the Micah to the Packers trade? Roger needed to make the call and shut that down. Oh, a little toss to Flowers. And now he's going backwards. It's going to be like 3rd and 25 here. Got like maybe half a yard. Another timeout for the Bills. Makes sense. If you're the Ravens, I think you just run it here, right? Buffalo can't stop the clock. So you might as well run it. I mean, the odds of you actually picking up this 3rd and 25 are pretty slim. It's almost like when you're setting up for a field goal late in the game, right? And you just like do like a weird like quarterback keeper, but you just like line it up with the hash that the kicker likes. Like I would seriously consider just doing that, honestly. Maybe you want to get a yard or two to help your kicker out, but it's pretty makeable from here. It's like what, maybe a 47 yarder. I would consider just like getting Lamar in shotgun and just having him go to whatever hash or alignment Tyler Loop likes to kick from the best, honestly. And then just let the clock bleed, kick your field goal. I guess it's like closer like a 50-yarder. Maybe not. Maybe they won't do that. They will have Lamar keep it, though. Yeah, look at... I don't know. I think... Oh, we got to be careful there. Ball almost came out. He did cut back pretty sharply to try and stay in the middle there. I don't know if you noticed that. I don't know. Let's watch this replay back. But it looked like once he got past the left hash, he made a pretty concentrated effort to get back closer towards the middle. And maybe some of that, yeah, like right there, went back to the right. All the way back to the right. I wonder if that's because he knows that Loop likes to kick from the right a little bit more. Maybe some of it was he's just trying to get around the defender, but I think he was trying to set up Loop for a good kick there. Buffalo's not going to have a ton of time here and no timeouts when they get the ball back. That was managed pretty well by Baltimore. See if he's got it. Oh, yeah. Clean. You know, John Harbaugh does have his roots in special teams, right? The Ravens have always had fantastic special teams under Harbaugh, even before Justin Tucker. Remember Billy Cundiff? He was pretty good for a little bit. Matt Stover? How about that, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they got another one. Tyler Loop. There you go. There you go. Sam says because Micah to the Packers is just too funny. Not even Roger is evil enough to deny still joy of laughing at Jerry Jones. Fair enough. Loki, I feel like they might have beef a little bit, right? Just a little bit of a power struggle. Maybe. Maybe it's just a little, just like, I don't know. I always wonder what the dynamic is between Roger and the owners. Because it's important to remember, technically Roger works for the owners. It's not like Goodell is like the king of the NFL, right? He's the employee of the owners. If one day the owners woke up and were just like, you know what, I don't really like Goodell anymore, he would be gone like that. They could get him out in an instant, you know? So I always wonder how that dynamic is. I feel like there's some pretty interesting stuff that goes on that we don't necessarily know about in regards to that. Caden is saying him and Parker have 12 and 13 at half. Okay, I see you guys. Add in Precious. Dude, Precious. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Precious Ballistrieri. What a player he is. But I see you guys going off. We still gotta come up with a name for your build, Caden. I'm assuming Parker's still rocking with Etwan, right? What's your build's name? I know we had Chester last year. We gotta come up with a new one, I think. And I called dibs on Arthur for my other build. Absolute sicko pulling deep cut Ravens kickers. Oh, yeah. I've got a deeper bag than that. Remember, Kare Vedvik? Man, I don't even know if I got his name right. But he was that hybrid kicker punter that the Ravens had for a little bit that was super hyped up. He was Justin Tucker's backup. Like, they kept two kickers on the roster for a little bit. And then the Vikings ended up trading for him, and he was just not good. He got cut in preseason. I think he's Norwegian. Yeah. Kare Vedvik. And he was with the Jets for one game, and he was kind of a disaster. But that's a... Corey. Okay, see, I didn't even know how to say his name, but, like, I knew him, if you know what I'm saying. That's probably the deepest cut Ravens kicker that I've got, honestly. And then, you know, we'll pull up Matt Stover. I don't know if Stover and Harbaugh, I think they overlapped for a tiny bit, right? Yeah, they did. Let's go. That's awesome. That's right. He was the Colts kicker in 2009. At that point, here's one more fun fact before we get to the game. He was a Colts kicker in 2009. And at the time, they made the Super Bowl that year. At the time, he was the oldest player to ever appear in a Super Bowl. Obviously, Brady broke that record later, but there's a little Matt Stover fact for you. Let's go. Matt Stover mentioned. All right, back to the game. Brent said when he interned in Cleveland, Goodell had no interest in coming to Cleveland. Yeah. You know, I stand with Cleveland. I think it gets a bad rap, honestly. I was in Cleveland for like 12 hours when I went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. My parents and I ended up staying there. And we stayed there for like a day. We got dinner there. We checked out the lake, checked out downtown. Nice throw. Good catch. They got to hurry and spike it. Cleveland's a cool city. Cleveland, Ohio. I really like it, honestly. I think it gets a bad rap. It was a nice place. And I had to clarify, obviously, because I lived in another Cleveland. I lived in Cleveland, Georgia. And I liked Cleveland, Georgia enough, too. But definitely glad I've got a different location now, different change of scenery. So, and I've got some pretty exciting stuff coming up here. That's what I'll say. I keep, like, teasing something ominous. And honestly, it has, like, nothing to do with this channel. I'm just playing it safe because there's a course I took and like they just outlined rules for like what you can and can't talk about necessarily. But when a few more things happened within like the next week or two, you'll know. But that was a nice throw to Shakir. That was nice. We'll set up like a prayer ball, maybe, right? Josh has got the arm to get it out there. We could see a Josh prayer ball or something. Keon Coleman, maybe, right? Just F it, Coleman down there somewhere. Palmer, get the big guys in there, right? Get Palmer in there. This would be a nice spot to have Mac Hollins in too. I suppose they've got Prater warming up. 7 seconds. I mean, yeah, I guess you could try like a sideline shot. You could try and rip an outbreaker towards the sideline, either an out or a corner. But also, I mean, it's pretty obvious that's what the Ravens are going to be sitting on, right? I don't know what they're doing here, honestly. Are they going to try and steal a few more yards? Or are they just going to chuck it? They're just going to... Oh! Did he get out of bounds in time? That was a strike. Oh, did he get out of bounds in time? That is an unbelievable ball right there. That is a rip from Josh. Lamar's already running into the locker room. Let's see. Still 2 seconds when he catches it. 1. Oh my gosh, he got out. He got out in time. Oh my goodness. That is an unbelievable play. I thought there was no shot they were going to be able to pull that off. They might be able to steal 3 points here. Lamar still go to the locker room. He's like, screw this. I don't need to see this. That is an unbelievable play right there. How about Kincaid coming up in a big spot too? Great catch. Hand fighting with Humphrey. Keeping the ball going to the ground. And I mean, he got out at like the last possible millisecond there. Wow. Oh my gosh. This might steal him 3 points right here. That was phenomenal. And a great throw to Shakir too. Wow. Yeah, good call. The kick 6, getting out of bounds in time to make the kick even possible. For a sec, I thought you were ahead and that the Bills like ran the kick back or something. I was like, oh, but no, that was an incredible sequence from Josh right there. That low key like kind of kept him in the game, honestly, because the Ravens get the second half. They get the ball to start the second half. If they would have gotten that up 2 scores with how Henry is cooking right now, I'm not saying it would have been over, but that would have been tough. Even getting 3 there is massive. That's the best drive from the Bills offense so far this game. I mean, that was an impossible situation for them to be in, and they're able to get points out of that. Yeah. All right, there we go. That's what happens when you let Josh cut it loose a little bit, right? Some of that just like dictated by game script, but Lamar had to poop already. That's right. That was on Monday night back in 2020 against the Browns. Oh, man. All right. Well, as promised, we'll take a look at the fantasy league here at halftime. We'll see how things are doing. Again, I haven't seen too much of how my team is doing. I was looking during the 1 o'clock window a little bit. But we'll check out the Dr. Pigskin Fantasy League. I know I'm playing against Laywell right now. Oh, Laywell's leading now. Interesting. Who's projected to win? Do I have anyone? Oh, I've got someone going tomorrow. It's projected. Oh, I'm projected to pull it out. We'll see. I suppose I've got Lamar going right now, and then I've got Loveland's tomorrow night. And Laywell has no one left, it looks like. Should be okay. I should be okay. Although, again, like, we could see game script second half, maybe a little bit less Lamar throwing, depending on how things go. But that 3 points might have changed things a little bit. Let's see. How is everyone else doing? Close game right here between Alina and Gabe, it looks like. Oh, man, this one's going to come down to the end. Hawkinson's going tomorrow for Gabe. Alina's got a Dunze going. Genty got 12. I was like, Genty got 17? Ah. Oh, okay, didn't say it. It's okay. We don't have to check it. Pear Champ's coming. Good Lord, Pear Champ. He's coming for you. Oh, no. Oh, man. Quiet game from James Cook so far. Only 3 points. Chuba Hubbard got 18. He must have scored a touchdown. Again, I kind of fell off following that game for a little bit. Fairbairn got 14. He's been pretty good. Bowers was a monster today. Yeah, that's crazy. Did Bowers have the exact amount he was projected for? He did. You almost never see that happen. That's crazy. Bowers to Geno was hoops today. That was a phenomenal duo right there, dude. I don't know. Some of these QBs, we're up right now, if you know what I'm saying. Some of these QBs that I back, right? Geno with a big game today. Trevor Lawrence with some nice moments and a win today. Jordan Love with a big game today. Dak had a great game on Thursday. I know the box score doesn't reflect it, but come on, we all watched that game. We saw Dak played excellent ball in that game, right? I don't know. Stafford was all right today. He had a few sick throws. There's one insane throw that he had to Devontae Adams that I can't wait to see the all 22 of. I might post that clip somewhere. That was sick. And he had a few other nice throws. That touchdown he had was nice, but yeah. Some good quarterbacks out there right now. Forget what some of the box scores say. There's some good throws of the football out there right now. Game solved versus they hit the second power. This one, game solved, looks to be in pretty comfortable position. BTJ with a quiet game, but he did have that rushing touchdown. Not a lot through the air, but rushing touchdown certainly helps. Jefferson's projected for 20 tomorrow. Good gravy. I wonder if that means Jalen Johnson is out. I know he's listed as questionable, but no Jalen Johnson. Jefferson might be licking his chops. I'm not going to lie. That would make me, I don't know, that might tilt things in favor of the Vikings a little bit. Mahomes with a big game, finally in fantasy, right? Kamara was pretty good. And then Worthy. That's right. Yeah, Jack had Worthy and A.J. Brown. And the Bucks D. Oh, yeah, that's tough. We've got Parker versus Henry here. Harry Penix versus Sad Falcon Noises. Crazy name duo right there. Yeah, quiet game from Nico. Just another one of those weird stat games, right? Wait, did Bowers get hurt? And did I just miss that? Dude, that sucks. He looked awesome out there today. He and Geno were phenomenal today. That sucks, dude. I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, Tyler Bass. Ooh, tough. Kittle got hurt, but he got a touchdown. JSN was really good. Josh is all right, but, he'll have to throw some in the second half. Marv was pretty good. That was another guy that stood out to me today. Marv played pretty well. Quiet games from the other receivers. Oh, Igbuka on the bench. Oh, Henry. And I know, Henry, you've got a lot of shares of Igbuka too, if I'm not mistaken, right? I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, you have Igbuka in the other league that we drafted in this year, right? But yeah, Igbuka, oh, that's tough. I mean, I don't blame you for sitting him for Tyreek or Pickens. Oh man, you got some nice receivers on your bench. Henry is saying he needs the Vikings defense and special teams to not screw him tomorrow. I suppose, yeah, you should be set up pretty well, but then that defense going, I mean, hey, free game, right? I won't lie. I've done this before, and people can disagree with this or call this dishonorable, whatever, but I've certainly done this before. I've been in situations where if I have a defense going on Monday night and that's the only guy I have left and my opponent has no one left and I'm leading, I'm not going to lie. I'll sit the defense. I sit the defense, dude. I know it's maybe cowardly and not honorable, but I don't care. I'm sweaty like that. So that's what I would do, honestly, if I was in your shoes. Oh, you've got him in Dynasty. Okay, yeah. But I feel like I've seen you draft Igbuka. I'm like, yeah, good player to have, especially in Dynasty. Great player to have. And then the final matchup, Pear Champ versus the Titletown Terrorists. Here comes big bad Derrick Henry. It's going to be close, though. I mean, it's projected to be a photo finish, right? We'll see if Henry can keep it up in the second half, just because, we'll see if the opportunities are there for him or not. But, man. Oh, we got a close one here to finish. Yeah, Tyler Warren did get. Look at that, Caden. You kind of killed it with Tyler Warren this week. I'll give you that. I should have listened to you. Oh, Neighbors could have had more. Russ was killing me, dude. I was pulling my hair out watching Russ on my TV. Oh, Packers D. Nice. Yeah. How dare you? How dare you take him from me? Ah! As if I own him, as if he's my player and my player only. But Brent says, as much as I want Dallas, he wants Dallas to trade Dak. He played well. Oh yeah, no, he's a hooper, man. I just love the way he plays quarterback. And you know what? I think it's so funny that he baited Jalen Carter into spitting on him. I think that was hilarious. Classic vet move right there. Classic savvy vet move, and it worked. That's still so crazy. We really saw someone get spit on before the first play from scrimmage on Thursday. Dak knew what he was doing. He had that smirk on his face. W rage bait, am I right? All right, let me look into this Brock Bowers thing, actually. How is Brock Bowers doing? Okay, he's okay after a knee tweak per USA Today. That's good. But I completely missed that. How's George Kittle doing? That was the other big George Kittle tight end injury. Hammy injury. I mean, he left the game and he like took off his uniform and everything. But he looked good for when he was out there. We'll see. We'll probably learn more. Henry was saying Drake London should be okay, right? I was a little worried about that. He's day-to-day with a shoulder sprain. Okay, so it's nothing serious. Again, I'm not a doctor. Shh. If you know, you know. But, you know, he's going to have to be healthy if he's going to win the Triple Crown. That's what I'll say. I don't know if that happens or not, but it's a fun, bold take. Oh no, it's the AI slop ad. Ride the float. Oh man. Crazy. Nightmare fuel. The Rizzler. Oh my goodness. The Rizzler. Yeah, this was the ad that Michael was talking about, right, with Drewski. This is the shorter version, but they showed Drewski on a dolphin. I would have always assumed that Drewski was a Falcons fan, right? Because he's from Atlanta. One of his sketches actually recently, it was not the most recent Whiteface one, but it was the one before that one. It was like, oh my gosh, he filmed that in Atlanta. Like I could tell because I saw the MARTA sign. I'm like, that's crazy. Oh man. The makeup though, like the makeup and design on his most recent sketch is like unironically like they should win an award for that. That was pretty impressive. Oh. I feel like second half will be starting soon. Yeah, I mean I already did my grid again. It's a bummer. I did all right. We got a few nice polls, but we just got to get back into the swing of things a little bit, right? We'll be back stronger, better next week. Which, by the way, I actually got to pull up my streaming schedule here. I believe next week I will be streaming on Sunday nights, and stay tuned because there might be a little special something for that stream on Sunday night. But I believe that is my next game stream. I'm trying to pull up. I have a schedule. I'm trying to pull it up right now. I think I'm in the wrong thing. Hold on. But again, I'm going to try and stick to like usually one primetime stream a week. Now, again, like some weeks I might make the exception and do like multiple. There might be weeks where I'm like out of town and I can't do any necessarily. If it's like a holiday, like, yeah, I'm going to give myself the time off, right? I'm not going to be like going live on Thanksgiving Day or anything. You know what I'm saying? Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Yeah. So next week, next week I technically do have two games penciled in. I have Falcons Vikings Sunday Night Football next week. We'll for sure be going live for that one. And as I was alluding to, I'm just gonna double check some things, but there's something special in the works for that one, which I'm pretty excited for. So that'll be a blast. I also have Chargers versus Raiders Monday Night Football written down. But again, as I said earlier this morning, that game kicks off at 10 p.m. and that I was like so set on streaming that game when the schedule came out. I was like, dude, if it's a primetime game, I'm doing it for sure. We'll see if I'm built for a 10 p.m. kickoff or not. We'll see. That one might be a game time decision. But for those wondering, next week, for right now, what I've got planned is something similar to what I did today. We'll do the pregame show in the morning, and then we'll go live for Falcons versus Vikings Sunday Night Football, which could be a real doozy. That could be a crazy game. That could be a crazy game. Henry says the Falcons are going to get so cooked. Again, Maybe it's just me being a Vikings fan and like everything scares me. And I try and think that I'm like optimistic. And I will be real. Like, yeah, when I like filled out the whole Vikings schedule, I picked us to win that game. I will say though, and I think we'll learn a little bit more about the Vikings tomorrow. If you're a little worried about running up the middle, right? Tampa Bay, hard team to do it against with Vita Vea. Here's what I'll say. We might not be the hardest team in the world to run up the middle on. And I am a little scared of like whichever corner we're going to throw at on Drake London, right? For what it's worth, Bijan Robinson did play a pretty good game against us last year. It just, fourth quarter, the offensive onslaught like took Bijan out of the game. Like you guys couldn't run the ball right because all of a sudden we had 42 points. I do like to think that we can take care of business though, right? Even with no Addison, like I like to think like Jefferson can get his and yeah. No, they have. They have actually. Henry's saying, I don't think the Falcons have beaten the Vikings since you've known me. Granted, this was like the one time in college that we weren't together for this game. It was the COVID year. It was week 5 of the 2020 season. Do you remember that? That was, I believe it was the first game of Raheem Morris's interim tenure. It was in Minnesota, and the Falcons absolutely fried the Vikings. Julio Jones went off in that game. The Vikings started the season like 1-4, 1-5 that year. But that they technically have beaten us since we've known each other. But I do, of course, remember week 1, 2019. That was a legendary game. Then last year. Oh, and then the Josh Dobbs game. How could I forget about that? I was at that game. But there was the COVID year. You guys have the COVID year at least. That was a rough game for the Vikings. I was like, yeah, our season's cooked. But second half, here we go. Been a pretty good game so far. 7-point lead for the Ravens. They do get the ball to start the second half. We'll see what kind of adjustments the Bills have made here coming out of halftime. They got to figure out some way to stop this rushing attack, right? I mean, the Ravens are quite literally on pace for over 300 yards on the ground. They're going to go to Henry to start things off, and why not? And it's like 4-yard chunk right there. It doesn't look like much, but all of a sudden, like 2nd and 6, that's a great spot to live if you're the Ravens. You could give it back to Henry. You could do whatever. He's got 10 for 126. Second and 7, actually, technically. But you know what I mean. He's still in there. I mean, you can just, I don't know, like, and the Bills, you know, I will give them credit. Like, when Lamar's dropped back, like, they've done a pretty good job at getting pressure, but in the run game, it has been no contest so far. There's Bosa. Okay. I don't know if that's going to go down as a sack, but it might as well. That was another great rep from the Bills pass rush right there. Bosa looked pretty good on that play. That was a nice clean win off the edge for Bosa. And even though he didn't get to Lamar, it forced him to step up. Good team defense by the Bills to rally to the ball. Everyone stayed at home. You know, some poor teams might have let him go for like 6 yards there. Look at Matt Milano staying home. Oliver gets there. Milano finishes it off. Okay. 3rd and 7. Oh, Zay Flowers wide open. Still going. Oh my goodness. See, that's the level of open for Zay Flowers that you usually see when Lamar is like running around when the play breaks down. That was just in structure. I'd love to see the replay on this. They got him working on Teron Johnson here out of the slot. Just a simple in-breaker, is it? Yep. Just no one there. I don't know if there's like a blown assignment or what, but just absolutely no one occupying that zone right there. Easy pitch and catch. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I like glanced over at my other monitor for a quick second and I saw something. I'm going to act surprised though. Oh my gosh, a touchdown. No way. That's crazy. But that is actually crazy. Like, what? 3-play drive, touchdown Ravens. Bro. Dude, this offense is ridiculous, dude. Like, and I know we do it every year, whatever, DVOA champs or whatever, but like, oh my gosh. I mean, how do you stop this? I'm telling you, dude. Lamar MVP. This offense could be historic. Seriously. Like, oh my gosh. I'm going to be really obnoxious about the Ravens this year, dude. This is a joy to watch. Man. And UGA fans will know, Henry, you can back me up on this, right? Like, it's not just the players that they have. It's not just the roster. As Georgia fans, we know Todd Monken is that guy. Todd Monken is him. He is a fantastic offensive mind, right? They've got the ingredients and they've got a world-class chef. I mean, I don't know, man. Buffalo's pretty good. I don't know, man. Kansas City's pretty good. I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll believe it when we see it, right? Could they win 15 games this year? They'll find a way to lose some stupid game, right? I mean, they lost to the Raiders last year. They've lost to the Deshaun Watson Browns before. I'm sure they'll find a way to like lose some stupid game, but it's good. Yeah, Josh is gonna have to go bananas, so this would be a blowout. Joe, I was saying. I mean, he more or less went bananas on their drive to close out the half, right? And that was to get him 3 points. I mean, we're gonna need to see Josh versus the Lions from last year, or Josh versus the Bills, right? Like we're gonna need to see that level of performance from him now. Here you go, MVP. Answer the call. This is the guy that you beat out for MVP. Well, guess what? They've got you on the ropes. I know he has it in him. I know you have it in you, Josh. Just like your Gatorade ad. Is it in you? Go do it. Show that it's in you. Come on, Josh. Make this a game for us neutral football enjoyers. Unleash the hounds. Come on. You're all saying this might be a week one overreaction, but I'm feeling a Chargers-Ravens AFC Championship game. Okay, well, I tell you what. I was pretty surprised with what I saw from the Chargers on Friday. I really was. I was impressed by their defense. I thought they did a really good job rallying to the ball and tackling and just, again, could I see a little bit of regression for their defense this year? Are they going to like rank second in a lot of statistical categories this season? I would be surprised, but it could be good enough. But I think a big reason why you could be optimistic about the Chargers is apparently Greg Roman has discovered how to scheme up a passing game now. Because I tell you what, dude, like some of the concepts that they were running with Ladd and like Quentin Johnston, the ways they were getting him open, I have never seen a Greg Roman offense do in my life. It was incredible. And Herbert was just absolute nails. And Joe Alt is just so good. I could see the vision, honestly. I'm obviously all the way on board with the Ravens making the AFC Championship game. I think maybe this is just like personal bias for me and like clinging to my priors, right? Like I'm still a little bit more hesitant to go all the way in with the Chargers and be like, yep, AFC Championship. But if you didn't go into the season with that view, if you didn't go into the season low on the Chargers, if you were high on them, then I totally understand like seeing Friday's game and being like, yep, that's a reinforcement. Like this is a good team. And you know what? I will say, I said it in Discord, I just shouldn't have bet against Jim, dude. Like, again, it's 1 week. I'm already not feeling great about my take that they finished last in the division, though. It's tough because someone's going to have to do it, and it's a good division. But they've got the quarterback. They've got the coach. The defense isn't amazing, but it's really well coached, and they've got good players on all 3 levels. Ladd is just a superstar, dude. He really is. He's so good. And I think Marion Hampton will be a little bit better too. And I might be a little wrong about Mekhi Becton. He played a pretty good game on Friday. No pressures allowed. So, But, well, there you go. I mean, hey, right? I mean, if you went into that game thinking that was going to happen and then you saw it, like, yeah, I don't blame you for being excited and being like, let's go. Like, I mean, if like the Giants would have won today, I would have said some stupid stuff, like, I knew it. I told you guys they're finishing second. There's Mike Green. Bills got blown out last year too, but it's the playoffs that really matter. No, that's fair. That's true. They did kind of get dog walked by the Ravens. I will say, and again, like it's regular season. You're right. Playoffs totally matter more, especially for two teams like this, where it's just like fair or not, like it really is like a Super Bowl or bust year for both of them, right? Neither of these teams have even made it to the Super Bowl, let alone won one. But last year, I will say, like, the Bills did go into that regular season game pretty hobbled and pretty banged up. They had a lot of key players out on both sides of the ball. They are a lot healthier in this game, So, I don't know. And again, biases are a funny thing, right? I went into the season thinking like, yeah, I think the Ravens are better than the Bills. And so now I'm seeing this. It's like, wow, they're really, really better. It's probably not quite that simple, but this is the first meaningful football I've watched in like 8 months. So I'm going to like overreact to everything. Which I will say, little self-plug. I throw in one every once in a while. But if you haven't checked out doc.com yet, my new website, doc.com.blog, right? If you want more Dr. Pigskin, I've gotten some written content on there, getting that website started up. My article for this week, I'm pretty excited. We're going to do some sort of like overreaction type of column or something like that. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'll probably get started on that tomorrow when I have some time. But week one overreactions, that's just a classic, right? Those are a lot of fun. So we'll come up with some good week one, like, is this an overreaction or not, or something like that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll drop the link and stuff too. But Allen ripping it. Ooh, good pass defense right there. Right in his grill. Who was that made the play? Let's watch this back. Was it Hamilton? Nice. He just got a bag recently, too. He just got paid. Oh, yeah, look at that. I mean, it's crazy that he's the size that he is and he's as physical as he is, but he's also, like, probably the best free safety in football. Such a special player. Lived up to every bit of the hype and then some. Like, this is crazy praise, but it really is like if Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor were combined. I mean, that is a ridiculous thing to say, but like he is that type of unicorn player. Man. He's one half of the Legion of Boom. Just by himself. There's Malachi Starks. Haven't really been too focused on him so far. Sometimes it's hard to focus on the safeties, especially if they're playing deep. They don't always get involved in all the plays. Nothing. Good tackle by Roquan, I will say. And no disrespect if there's any safeties watching here. I love the safety position, right? Especially like those hybrid safeties that'll blitz and come downhill and stuff. But I'll be honest, some of like those deeper safeties, that might be like my least favorite position to like watch tape of. If I'm like looking at draft prospects, like I'll be honest, safety is probably the position I watched the least this year. You've just got all these deep college safeties that aren't really getting involved in the plays just because, like, I don't know, they don't like the ball just doesn't come in their zone, Allen, deep shot. Oh, yeah, they're going to get the DPI. Palmer nearly caught it. But you might as well call it a catch, right? You'll take that. You'll take it. That's huge. Sometimes you just got to chuck it downfield and force the ref to make a call. That was on Jair. Yeah. Well, here you go. James Cook time probably, right? You have to imagine, inside the 5, this will be where they give the ball to James Cook. Here's what I'll say, too. Little full circle moment to something I was talking about this offseason, right? Tush Push ended up not getting banned. The Bills were one of the teams that was like really pushing to ban it. And you had Sean McDermott talking about like how unsafe of a play it was and stuff like that. Okay, all right. You get the ball to the 1. I better not see you run it then. If it's so terrible and awful and unsafe, you better not run it then. Quarterback draw probably? Yeah. Just not even a draw, just quarterback power. Here we go. Oh, okay. They're not quite to the one. I'm just looking for stuff to complain about. Sometimes I get a little snarky, I guess, but clearly Aaron Rodgers wins MVP this year. He's in his Vikings Favre era. Hey, as long as it's not with the Vikings, that's what everyone thought. But no, he did play a good game today, I will say. MVP would be crazy. I mean, if the Steelers somehow won the division, it's not inconceivable, you know? Because you have to imagine it would take a Herculean effort from him. All right, 2nd and goal. James Cook here, maybe? Yup. Touchdown. There you go. One of the most effective goal line backs in the NFL since Joe Brady took over. James Cook punching it in. Good answer from the Bills. They're hanging in there, right? You got to just keep on hanging around, you know? Good answer from Buffalo. Their offenses looked pretty good these past few drives. All set up by the DPI by Jair. 4th down too. I love the decision to go for it on 4th down. You know what? Maybe Sean McDermott was watching. He heard me say, "Oh, he's not that aggressive on 4th down." There you go. I love it. There you go. Kick is up and good. All right, 7-point game. Oh, flag down. Let's see what we got here. Man, if it's on the Ravens, you could flirt with accepting it and then going for 2. I feel like it's at this point in the game. Oh, it's on the Bills. Oh, is that going to push them back? Make them retry the PAT? But you would be at like halfway through the 3rd quarter, you would be around the time where mathematically the strat of going for 2 down 8 would come into play. Right. That's one of my favorite little like game theory mathematical wrinkles in football. Oh, wait. Was it on the Ravens? We going for 2 here? I love it. Yes. Go for 2 down 8. Yeah. Honestly, even before the penalty, mathematically and analytically speaking, this would probably be the correct call, right? You want to try and eliminate overtime. Even if they don't get it, they're still down a score. They still need a touchdown either way. But if you can try and get it to that nice, tasty 6-point margin, you could eventually try and take overtime out of the equation. I love this. Let's go. All right, they're going for 2 down 8. Sean McDermott, you've passed the test. You've passed the down 8 test. Let's see what they got cooked up here. Oh, they tried a little misdirection. Original play is not there. Josh Prayer. Oh, we got it. Keon Coleman. That is huge. That is a legitimately massive play right there. This swings things a little bit in favor of Buffalo. Another flag down. Oh, is this going to be illegal touching? They had a hat down. Did Coleman step out of bounds and then come back in? Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Was he forced out by Wiggins? Is that a thing? Let's see. Wow. Oh. What a swing that is. Wow. Well, it's still a 1-score game. Man, that's a tough break right there for the Bills. Welcome SDB ATL, by the way. Yeah, that flag is a tough break right there. Again, it's still a 1-score game. They still need a stop and a touchdown either way. But now they got to come back and get that 2-point conversion this time around. But if Coleman would have just been able to stay in bounds there, he kind of got worked out of bounds a little bit, you know? Kind of tough to see from a big physical receiver that he's getting, shoved out of bounds and everything. But man, what a swing right there. Lose on a 2-point conversion will be crazy. Yeah, the Ravens definitely don't know a thing about that. The Ravens have definitely never, ever lost to the Bills on a 2-point conversion. Oh, wait. I ruined the I butchered the joke. You know what I mean. What I should have said is we've never, ever, ever seen that in this matchup before, ever, right? Certainly not on a drop. I'll give myself like a 60 for the joke. I didn't fail. I got a D minus though. Oh man, my throat is gonna be scratchy tomorrow. I noticed that during week one last year. I streamed last year for week one. I went even crazier. Last year for week one, I streamed the Thursday game. I streamed the Friday game. I did the pregame show and then the Sunday night game. And I was originally gonna stream the Monday night game too, but I was legitimately like starting to lose my voice. I feel like usually like around 2 to 3 streams a week is good, especially like some of these are longer too, you know. Um, but I can already like I'm drinking a lot of water right now. I can already feel like just a slight dryness and scratchiness in my throat. But I mean, I'll be okay. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm pushing myself. I'm a martyr. Like, it is like a first world problem. I'll be okay. But oh man, but I'm almost out of water. I might have to refill it during a commercial break at some point. We'll see. We'll see. Parachamp says, I mean, the Ravens lost because of a failed 2-point conversion last year in the playoffs. Oh yeah. Yep. We were live for that. We were live for that. Poor Mark Andrews. Oh, let's go. There's the SNF promo right there. Oh, look at my QB. Look at that. Oh yeah, he's going for the little shoulder pad pull down. That goes so hard. He's got the ball in his other hand. JJ McCarthy, quarterback. Let's go. Sorry. More like JJ McCarthy, Michigan. Aaron Jones, UTEP. Justin Jefferson, LSU. Adam Thielen, Minnesota State Mankato. TJ Hawkinson, Iowa. Let's go, baby. Christian Darrisaw, Virginia Tech. That's how it's going to go. Um, Donovan Jackson, Ohio State. Ryan Kelly, Alabama. I actually don't know where Will Fries went to college. Brian O'Neill, Pittsburgh. That's exactly how it's going to go. Oh, and then CJ Ham, Augustana. Which, fun fact, is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Growing up as a kid, I had an Augustana-themed basketball, like an Augustana University-themed basketball. That thing somehow stayed inflated through like the harshest of North Dakota winters. It was crazy. We never had to pump that thing up ever. All the other like basketballs and footballs and soccer balls, like after the winter when spring would come and the snow would melt, we could play outside again. We'd always have to inflate everything except for that yellow Augustana basketball. That thing was like freaking tank. That was one of the things that we kept from when we moved from Sioux Falls to Fargo. And I don't know where it is now, which is kind of a shame because I used that ball so much as a kid. But that's where CJ Ham went to school, if you're wondering what that has to do with anything. Let's see if the Bills can get a stop here at all. I mean, when's the last time the Bills have gotten a stop on the Ravens? Have they scored on like their last 3 drives or something like that? Let me pull it up right now. I believe so. Henry stuffed. Hello, Ed Oliver. All right, couple of big plays for Big Ed. Yeah, the Ravens have actually scored on every drive so far. They've gotten either a touchdown or a field goal on every drive. The Bills have yet to force a punt or a turnover. But here we go. Big time stuff right there. Man, not often you see Derrick Henry get knocked backwards like that. 3rd and 10. Here we go. Can the pass rush get... Bosa's looking good out there. Incomplete. Looking for Bateman. Benford's in his pocket the whole way. I got to say, I've been pretty impressed with Joey Bosa so far. He hasn't gotten home yet, but I feel like he's just rushing things a little bit. I feel like he's been pretty consistently winning his matchup so far. You might see a quick glance of it. That's a nice little spin move he put on Roger Rosengarten right there. Bateman was the read the whole way. Good coverage by Benford. No flag. Clean play. There you go. First punt of the game for the Ravens. Bills defense answering the call. Dude, so much for a blowout, man. Look at that. All it took was just a few drives. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. We got ourselves a game, folks. Here we go. This is how it's intended to be. Brent says I can always complain about the US men's national team. Oh, they'll give you plenty to complain about, that's for sure. This was a long time ago at this point. I'm still scarred from the Trinidad and Tobago incident, if you will. Dude, I remember watching that game on my phone on Go90, if you remember that app. That was a traumatic moment at like the peak of my soccer phase. I still like soccer, but there was a time where I was like really tapped into soccer, and that game was something. Was that was the second drive for the Ravens, I suppose. Yeah, because they marched right down in 3 plays on the first drive, right? Yeah. One of these teams is going to start 0-1. Brent says, I just hate how soft the golden generation is. Yeah, I feel like that's been a pretty common criticism of them, right? And I know, like, and again, like, I won't claim to, like, know any of them, but, like, they've been skipping stuff and sitting out on stuff. And you're right, like, there does seem to be very little dog in us sometimes, you know? Like, we could get out dogged in a lot of games that we should be winning, you know? So I can feel you on that. But hey, we we automatically qualified for next year, so we don't even need to worry about that. We're already in. There's gonna be games down here in Atlanta. I might try and go. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, World Cup is next year. That's honestly crazy to think about. 3 countries, North America, and the Benz is gonna be hosting some. Good for the Benz. Nice place. Been there a few times. Still, I'm surprised the Ravens still have a 77.6% chance of winning. That doesn't seem right. That seems too high. Yeah? Huh. Oh, good question from Pearchap. What would I say is the biggest upset today? He thinks Colts over Dolphins with how the score went. No, that's fair, right? With just how big of a blowout it was, how big of a beatdown it was. I feel like that's probably a good answer. I'm just looking at some of the other scores right now. We got a few. We had a close call with the Browns over the Bengals. Didn't quite happen. Um, it probably is the Colts, honestly. I mean, I picked the Seahawks, and I was surprised the Niners won. We almost saw a Titans upset over the Broncos, but again, like just a few almost upsets. You could say Packers over Lions just because the Lions have kind of had the Packers number recently, and that was kind of a beatdown too. I'll probably rock with you with the Colts though. 33-8 is crazy. Yeah. Joao asking, did I catch any Club World Cup games? Not really. I mean, I saw like a few in passing, you know, like there's a few times it was just like on and like I caught the end of a Chelsea match. I can't even remember who they were playing, but like I caught the end of that, but I didn't necessarily go out of my way to watch it this year, if that makes sense. But I've watched a little bit of the Prem, and you know once Champions League heats up, I'll probably tune into that some. I definitely prefer international to club. I don't know. I just love like the format of international tournaments, like not even just the World Cup, but like Copa America and Euros. I'm locked in for that. Like Afcon is pretty sick. Like I'll follow that along a little bit. Um, I forgot the name of the Asia one. Asia Games, I think it is, right? Like all those tournaments are so much fun. I love the format of those and just like there's just a different level of passion and care, not just from the players but the supporters for the international game. So I'll get hyped up for any international tournament. It was pretty big here in Brazil. Why? Because there's one Brazilian. Was there a Brazilian club in the Club World Cup this year? I'm trying to remember. Um, I'm sure if you said it, I would know. Like I'd recognize them, but I couldn't like name them off the top of my head. Second and 18, behind the chains here a little bit. What do you got cooked up for us, Buffalo? Oh, look out. Oh, Josh with the flip. Shakir. First down. Come on. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Josh with the flip. Yeah, we got a little quarterback duel going now. That's awesome. Josh really starting to heat up. Great end to the first half, and now he's in his playmaking bag a little bit. Let's go. First down. Yep, easy money. 4 Brazilian clubs. Wow. Fluminense. I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry. Flamenco, I know them. They beat Chelsea. Oh, okay. Nice. 4 Brazilian clubs. Then the Asia Championship. Qatar can be dominant but cannot qualify. But that can dominate but cannot qualify for the World Cup. Is there something that went on with that? Was that like, I don't know. There might have been something with that, but man, Josh heating up. He's getting close to getting his takeover. Or his X Factor, I guess, if it's football. His X Factor ability. Oh, they still have those in Madden, which crack me up. Ravens offense been off the field a little bit more now here in the third quarter. They're showing guys on the sideline right now. You just kind of have to sit there a little bit. I still think at some point we might see another shot downfield. You got to let Josh just unleash the hounds. Oh, he wanted to. Oh, here we go. Oh, incomplete. Looking for Josh Palmer. He's seen a good amount of run. Yeah, no, AFCON. And AFCON chaos is king. And I feel like AFCON for sure, like it just means so much, you know? Like, I feel like if you asked a lot of players, they would say, like, man, just like winning AFCON would mean the world to them, you know? It's an awesome tournament. It really is. All right, 3rd down and 8. Another 3rd down. Was that Kincaid in the backfield or is that Knox? That's Knox. Yeah, he's helping with pass protection. That makes sense. Allen creating. Here we go. Is he going to chuck it? He waited. Oh, good breakup. Well, well, well. If it isn't Kyle Hamilton causing a problem. Man, Josh is just so good at just like hanging out on the sideline, and he just waits like that extra half second to rip the throw because he doesn't need to like always step into it, right? His arm is just so strong. He could just plant, wait, rip. Like the fact that that ball got there is insane. That is a very good, like that's very good placement on the throw, but you can't like fully expect Shakir to catch it, right? Because Hamilton is right there. On 3rd and long, like, that's the right decision, I think. Like, he played that pretty well. And, you know, if it was, like, A.J. Brown instead of Khalil Shakir, then that might have been caught. But Josh did what he could on that play. That was a nice play by Josh right there, even though it didn't get caught. But we've just seen him. I feel like he, more than any other quarterback, he's so good at just, like, he'll get all the way to the sideline. And I know, like, CBS has even highlighted before, like, he'll, like, almost leap over the sideline and throw it, but I feel like he's gotten really good at just like hugging the sideline, planting his feet, waiting just that extra half second, and he just doesn't need to step into it, and the ball's going to get there anyways, you know? He's made some ludicrous plays doing that. That is a sick move to have in your pocket. That's what I'll say. But Brent follows too much football. AFCON is lit, but don't bet on it unless you like losing money. Yeah. Hey, maybe you could start a YouTube channel, you know? It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. We could always use more sports creators, you know? Yeah, this thing is empty. Maybe next commercial break I'll get some more water because I don't want to step away now, right? Because like we've already started the commercial break. By the time I come back, Ravens offense is going to be on the field. But Next commercial break, we'll get some water. I'm looking at the YouTube playback right now. I just took a full swig of air. That last gulp, nothing. All air. This has been a little bit longer of an ad break than I thought it would be. Hey, hey, hey. Shohei, let's go. Asian Nations Cup, where Qatar is back-to-back champions but need to win their group to make the World Cup. Oh, okay, I see now. Okay. Chicago Wednesday. I feel like usually they wrap up with like a network commercial, right? They promote the network and then they go back. Boom, look at that. There you go. I've solved commercials. Oh, look at that. That's just great play by Hamilton. Collinsworth is highlighting him right now. The range that he has for someone at his size is just ridiculous. Uh-oh. Oh, he's going to the locker room. Oh, oh man. Jeez. Okay. That's a situation to monitor right there. Star defender going to the locker room with an injury. Lamar's going to pass. Oh, look at that. Zay Flowers still chugging. Look at that, man. You just give the Ravens one sliver to attack, and they do. Play action to Zay. Holy smokes, he's got a $134 and a touchdown. He's heating up, too. So good after the catch. He's been fully unlocked in this offense. Man, he's a guy that, like, came on strong out of the gate, had a good rookie season, but he's just seemed to have gotten better and grown into his own more each year too. You know, Henry, you and I were talking a little bit earlier about like lack of high-end wide receiver play from the Ravens and that they've still had good offenses. And I'm not saying like Zay Flowers is going to become Justin Jefferson, but like, you know, there still is maybe a little bit more meat on the bone for him to improve and maybe not break into like that tier, but could he break into like, I don't know, what's a good comp? Like, could he be like the 13th best receiver in the NFL? That's possible. Yeah, sure. No, hey, I sleep on Zay too every once in a while, honestly. Like, I don't know. He can be easy to like get lost in the shuffle just because Henry is so sick and they've got Lamar and Andrews is still pretty good. And I like being pretentious and saying I really like Rashad Bateman, right? Like, deep shots. Oh. Y'all just see that? Y'all just see that? Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. Come on, man. Speaking of receivers, I mean, they got this guy named DeAndre Hopkins, too, who is he the player he once was? No, but holy crap. All right, well, Caden, you should when you get the chance, you should just try and find the highlight of DeAndre Hopkins' touchdown because he just made a ridiculous one-handed snag for a long touchdown. Oh my gosh, on Benford too. Oh my goodness. That is a throwback catch right there for DeAndre Hopkins. Like I feel like it's 2017 watching that catch. Holy crap. That's insane. That's insane. What a snag, dude. Isaac Isaac Tesla had a ridiculous catch in garbage time in that Packers Lions game too. That was insane. Unk still got it indeed. Yeah, no, you should look that up when you get the chance. That is sick. Oh my gosh. 29-yard touchdown for D-Hop. That's his first catch with the Ravens. I sometimes forget that he's there too. Like I just forget that they got him. But no, like he's a good role player to have, right? And apparently he can still do stuff like that every once in a while. The big 2025 indeed. Oh, dude, Caden, I would say you're holding on in fantasy now, right? All these other Ravens are scoring. Holy crap. Oh, good heavens. All right. Well, man, now the Bills got to go and answer again. Dude, they might actually hang 40. The Ravens might actually hang 40. Oh my gosh. Lamar is 12 for 15 with 2 touchdowns, 194 yards passing. He's also got 4 carries for 38 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. I mean, man, no, he will be a great immaculate grid pull. How about Ravens Titans DeAndre Hopkins in like 5 years? That's gonna go crazy. Yeah. Oh, welcome Crash 45. Let's go. I have a theory as to who this might be actually. Yes, we could talk about the Panthers, dude. That's such a bummer. I've always had a soft spot for the Panthers. I've got a Cam Newton jersey in my closet. Cam Newton was one of my favorite players growing up. Yeah, that was tough. I watched a good amount of that game, and then the weather delay happened. I didn't watch quite as much after, but Bryce, I don't want to say he turned into a pumpkin. It's just one game, right? And I really liked what I saw from Bryce to close out last season. But, maybe in hindsight, you could have seen like a bit of a tough game coming. You're going up against a defense that has two really good edge rushers, a good corner, new coaching staff bump as well, right? You're without Thielen. You just traded him away. No Jalen Coker. So all of a sudden, like the receiver room is just a lot thinner too. So it was a bummer. But you know what? We'll see what they've got in store for us next week. I'm still not all the way out on them, but yeah, I mean that defense is a little concerning. Oh yeah, good call, Caden. Let's go. Yes, plug in the Discord as always. There's the link to the Discord for any folks that might be interested. We do some fun stuff in there. It's a great way to stay up to date with the channel, stuff like the picks challenge, picks competition, all that good stuff, right? Just hanging out, talking ball. We had some nice chatter in there today. And yeah, let's go. I'm gonna pin that actually. Good call. But yeah, the Panthers. Tough start for them. Who do they play next week? I know the Panthers. I was getting flamed a little bit earlier when I first started going live. I didn't predict the Panthers to win, but I've always just been a little high on them, and not the best showing from them. But let's find the Panthers here. Oh, they've got the Cardinals next week. Oh, that's not easy. It's another team I kind of like this year. In Arizona. Ooh. They low-key have a tough start to their schedule. At Jacksonville, at Arizona, then Falcons and Patriots. Patriots, I don't know. They kind of came out flat today, but Cardinals Panthers. That's one of the more fun games in the 4 o'clock window. I do remember scouring some of the schedule earlier. But yeah, that playoff bounce. No, I mean Lamar is. We are watching gods play quarterback. That's what I'll say. Would it really shock us if he won MVP this year? I can't wait to see what like the crazy like dorky stats are going to be for Lamar too. Like, well, fourth quarter actually. I'm going to get some more water first once we go to commercial break, and then we're going to come back. I'm just curious. I want to see. This is so dumb, but I don't care. I want to see what Lamar's EPA per play is right now because I bet you it's ridiculous. But I'm going to sprint and I'm going to refill this water, and then I'm going to be right back. Battle of the 5 nines. I like that. One of these days, a Be Right Back screen is going to work wonders. um, I'm gonna have to like actually make that at some point. You know, if I'm like stepping out to get water, or like I took my little break. I gotta get my FDR blanket here too. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know if that was a bad joke or not. I like having a blanket over my legs when I sit in my chair and stream. That was terrible, but um, but no, I gotta work on like a Be Right Back screen, or like I also gotta make like a stream starting soon animation or something like that. But no way, you have the same exact water bottle. Let's go, blue hydro flask. Yeah, I love this thing. This thing was a godsend to me. This was a gift from Christine for Christmas a few years ago, I want to say. It holds so much water, keeps it so cold, it's so durable, right? And then I also got a little thing that like it's an extended cup holder, because it's the one thing I didn't like about it was that it's too big for the cup holders in my car. But there's this little cup holder extension where if you put it in there, then it can fit larger bottles in there. Like, I think you know what I mean. You know, I don't know if I'm describing it very well, but I take this thing with me everywhere. This is my favorite thing. I love this water bottle so much. All right. Looks like the fourth quarter hasn't started yet. Obviously, we're still at a commercial break. But let's see. I mean, man, Bills are going to have to score quick here, honestly, because this is not a team that you want to play from behind against, right? You just feel like, man, they're really going to be able to take the air out of the ball here, pound the rock, get a big long drive, and even if they get 3 points, it's back to a two-score game. Uphill battle here if you're Buffalo, but it's not impossible. Now, my old bottle, I actually had a lot of stickers on. Oh, there you go, Keon Coleman. And I actually still have it somewhere, but I would get stickers of like different state parks and national parks and just like cool naturey areas, that sort of thing that I've visited, right? So like Theodore Roosevelt National Park, or I got a Yellowstone sticker and a Rocky Mountain National Park sticker, stuff like that. I still have it somewhere, but that bottle like is cooked. Like it was like leaking and everything, but I'll show it to you guys next time. How about that? Because I'm pretty proud of the stickers that I have on there, and I guess I could just put them on here, but I don't know. We've got stickers on our vinyl crate though, where we keep our vinyl, and we've got a few different stickers on there. I copied Ryland. I'm sure I've copied Ryland in a lot of things. I think there might be a few things Ryland and I have in common. Let's go. Oh, he's a beast. Sam says his wife got him that one a couple years ago. It's taking a beating. Hydro Flask is the truth. You know, sometimes it is smart to just go with like the most basic answer, right? I feel like Hydro Flask is one of those things. There's just something about it. Shout out Hydro Flask. Not sponsored by them, but you know what? I'll take it. Let's go. Oh, oh, James Cook. Can he house it? Puts a move on. He's still going. He's down at the one. What an effort. Oh, my heavens. All right. Oh, Nate Wiggins saving a touchdown. I thought Cook was about to house that. Oh, my goodness. What a catch and run right there. Just get it out to him in the flat, makes a couple of guys miss, and he's just chugging from there. And here we go. Allen on the sneak. He didn't get it. Oh, they stood him up. They tried to go on the outside with the sneak. This game is just fascinating. Man. Shout out to the Minneapolis Hotel always. That's crazy that I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm okay. That was crazy. I almost choked on air. Looks like we got a player down. Is that Marlowe that's down? It is. Oh, man. Man. Some of these guys in the Ravens secondary just dropping. Is Hamilton back out there? I guess I don't see him on that play. Man. You're looking at... Oh, or is he? No, he's out there. Never mind. Okay, I just didn't see. He was lined up on the outside on Knox. But still. Man, this really does just have a playoff type of feel, doesn't it? You know, like Buffalo scores, things heat up a little bit. The crowd's going to get back into it. But here, I mean, it's second and goal, you know. They still have to punch it in, finish it off. What a duel by these quarterbacks. They're showing the two stat lines right now. Let's go. Allen is no hurts. True. Allen going to keep it himself. There it is. Touchdown. Touchdown. All right. All right. Look at that. I like the little buffalo animation that they get for the touchdown. They're going to go for 2, right? Yeah, it's a 9-point game. They have to. They have to. Oh, I didn't do the math in my head very well. They have to get the 2-point conversion to make it a 1-score game. They didn't get it last time. What do they go to this time? Empty? Okay. They get a motion cook back in? Yep. Pump fake? Allen, is he going to take it himself? Looking. Oh, it's picked. Hamilton laterals it to Kyle Van Noy. What are we doing? Wow. Kyle Hamilton, big play. You know, it's a shame because it's not going to go as an interception in the stat sheet for Kyle Hamilton. Like, that's not going to count towards his season total, but it might as well. That is a game-changing play right there. Still a 2-score game now. Oh, that's big. It's a shame that Hamilton's not going to get credit in the box score for that. He totally should. We'll have to remember that. Let's say like Kyle Hamilton is tied with someone else for the league lead in interceptions. Nope. It's actually Hamilton. Allen is Hurts. All right. Man, I'm going to be real honest with you. As much as I'd love to see a little bit of a comeback here to just add to the spice of this game, I would be pretty shocked if Buffalo could make up a 2-possession margin here with like 13 minutes to go. It's possible. It's possible. But I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, outside of just like a few drives, Ravens have scored. They've scored on every drive except for one, right? They punted in the third quarter. Did they not? I'm looking at the play-by-play right now, and it's not. Oh, that's scoring plays. I'm tripping. There we go. Yeah, they have one punt. They've scored on every other play so far. That's crazy. Man. Why won't... Oh, yeah. So, after the touchdown, Bills went for 2, and Kyle Hamilton got an interception. But for whatever reason, like interceptions on 2-point conversions or like a sack on a 2-point conversion, that won't count. The same way that like, excuse me, like a 2-point conversion is 2 yards out, right? But let's say Josh Allen ran it in. He wouldn't get 2 rushing yards added to his season total for that. It's weird, right? Like, so even though Kyle Hamilton most certainly got an interception, and it is a massive play in this game, one that could like end up deciding this game, because it was on a 2-point conversion, it doesn't count. It is dumb. I know. I don't get why that's a thing, but who knows? Who knows? Oh yeah, I was gonna look at. I just wanted to see what these quarterbacks' EPA per play is right now. We're going to go to our friends over at rbsdm.com, the ultimate football nerd site. I love this website so much. Let's pull up the advanced box scores here. Let's go. You guys have probably seen this site at this point. Yo, what's up, Jack? You farted. That's awesome. Pretty good game so far, huh? Gotta say. We're watching Gods play quarterback. And I don't know, it's not loading for some reason. I love this site, but sometimes it crashes or just doesn't load or anything. Whatever, I can do that on my own time. I don't need to indoctrinate you guys right now. I'll save it for the video. That's what I'll say. That's going to be a real doozy. Maybe then you guys will fall down the same rabbit hole, the same pipeline. The Ben Baldwin pipeline. Ben Baldwin's a Seahawks fan, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Jack, you might be familiar with Ben Baldwin. Give the ball to Henry and milk the clock. I mean, they're in the spot now where it actually makes sense to just hand the ball off to him a little bit, right? They're up 9, so they want to kill time, but they're not up by enough where like they'll want to protect Henry and they'll start feeding Justice Hill. We probably will see a few Henry carries on this drive. They're in a heavy formation right now. You gonna shift into shot or shift into I? Nope. Oh no, they are passing it still. Tough. Oh, Lamar short-armed it. Zay was there. He found a hole in the zone. Well, now on an incomplete pass, they might try and run it here on second down. You know, granted, like there's still about 13 minutes left, so you know, it's not like they can kill off the rest of the clock with one drive. It's not like they've got chew clock turned on right now. But Henry's not out there. They're really just going for the throat, aren't they? They're in shotgun again. Yep, they're throwing. That's crazy. Oh, that was another kind of short throw. Hill almost got there, though. I guess, yeah, they want to. Oh, no, I didn't see the wrong at first. I mean, there is like some legitimacy to that point, Kate, in that like they might want to save him a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's an easy drill. They're already walking back, but Jack says watching football with as a Hawks fan with a Jets and Bills fan not looking good for any of us. That is tough. That's a tough group right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's not over, but you never know. You never know, right? But that is tough. Yeah, it's an easy call right there. 3rd and 10. Money down. Crowd is getting loud. Lamar falling way back. He escapes. He scampers. He looks. He takes off. He's got the first down and then some. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? That play was doomed. He just keeps drifting back. Like 99% of quarterbacks in NFL history, that is a stupid way to handle the pressure that came at him. That is just like objectively the wrong way to play quarterback. Not for Lamar though. That is ridiculous, dude. That is insane. Oh my gosh. I mean, he drifted back like 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. There goes Henry. There you go, pair champ. There goes Henry. Touchdown. It's a 40 bomb. Derrick Henry again. 46 yards. Oh my gosh. A Ravens nuke. Derrick Henry, 14 carries, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He was getting drafted in the 2nd round in a lot of leagues. That's insane, dude. Doink. Who cares? It's over. 40-25 Ravens. Well, I mean, it's still, I guess it's still, is it still a 2-score game or am I just horrible at math? 25 plus 15 is 40. It is a 2-score game. Man, yeah, he did keep it alive for Henry. That's insane, dude. They did indeed get to 40. 231 rushing yards for the Ravens now. Man. I don't know what to say. The route is on. I mean, the Bills could answer quick, right? See, it is still a two-score game with like 12 minutes left, right? And the Bills offense like has enough juice where they could score some. Here's what I'll say though. It's hard for me to picture the Bills stopping the Ravens multiple times the rest of the way. You know, I just man. There it is, the Derrick Henry legacy game. That's awesome. Oh, look at that little fantasy banner, right? That's what makes it fun. A little trash talk. That's awesome. Let's go. I love that. Oh man. I don't even know what else like this could be a very special team this year. That's what I'll say. This Baltimore Ravens team. And I say again, you know, I'm sure at some point they're going to lose a dumb game that they shouldn't, right? And it all comes down to January, and rightfully so. Like it is totally fair to just say like none of this matters if they can't get it done in January, and I get that. But I will say this team right here, man, this could be a pretty special team. This could be a team we talk about for a long, long time. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm sorry. We're getting murdered. We are gonna get killed in this game. We're not winning this game. I'd like to think I could make a good case for like the Vikings winning most games, even if like I'm not gonna pick them, right? Like we're not beating the Ravens, dude. Oh my gosh. This will be a fascinating game. Yeah, they get the Lions and they get the Chiefs. They get the Chiefs without Rashi, which is really interesting. I I don't know, man. And I will say, this is also a pretty rough indictment on the Bills defense as well. I mean, hey, I think it was fair to have a few questions about this unit going into this game. You think about the Bills defense last year, we saw a few of the top teams go nuclear on them last year. The Lions hung 40 on them. The Rams hung 40 on them. The Ravens, they didn't hang 40 on them. They hung like 35 on them though, right? We saw the Bills defense get worked. The Chiefs scored the most points that they scored all last season on the Bills, I believe, right? It was their only 30-point game. It came against the Bills in the playoffs. It is very fair to question this defense a little bit. And you can be super high on Josh Allen on the offensive line and everything, but man, sometimes I do wonder if this defense might cap them out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh no. That's crazy. Wow, he's mad with power. Oh boy. I can still view them. I can still view them. So funny. Intercepted. Intercepted. Oh my goodness. Now the route might actually be on. That's crazy. Is that Chidobe Awuzie? He batted up to himself. Is it going to stand? We'll see. Whoo! Close. Oh man. I don't know if there's a way that I could like unhide them. I could put people in timeout. Timeout. That's crazy. That's the first time I've ever seen messages deleted on here. It's all love. I mean, why? Oh my gosh. All right. I guess it's incomplete. That makes sense. Bills keep the ball. I mean, if it was a pick, then it was curtains. It was over. This at least keeps the game somewhat alive. Kind of. But again, like, I like to think that, like, honestly, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if the Bills did score 2 touchdowns in the final 10 minutes here. The biggest problem is I just, like, on top of that, they have to stop the Ravens twice. And I just really struggle to believe that that happens, you know? I've just been giggling like a schoolgirl about this Ravens offense all night. I don't care, dude. Whatever. They make me giddy. They make me feel young. Showing. Oh, and they got a penalty too. Oh, it was a slide that started it all. Hmm. Oh, it only deleted. Oh, maybe it only deleted for you for 10 seconds, or maybe you have the permission to, like, or the ability to, like, unhide them or something. I don't know. Oh, did Josh get the first down on the slide? He might have. Oh man, this game is starting to slow down a little bit. Holding. Dion Dawkins, big dog. At least the Bills didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like as a similar, I guess their offense came out a lot flatter in the regular season game last year. I suppose that's fair. Their offense didn't really have a whole lot of anything. Did they even score a touchdown in that game on offense? I'm trying to remember. They might have found the end zone like once. So I guess that's true. Their offense put up a better fight. Oh, down goes Allen. I think it's pretty fair to say that, like, honestly, it's fair to be concerned about this Bills defense a little bit. Maybe that's a nice week one overreaction I could write about. I don't know. It's a little concerning. You learned your lesson. All right, you know what? I'm going to test out the timeout. You have been put in a timeout for 10 seconds. You've been timed out, bro. Wait, that's crazy. Did it delete all your messages? Only for 10 seconds, maybe? Can I untime out then? Or are you just out of your timeout now? Yeah, turtle timeout. Oh, there. Okay, you're back. You've emerged from your turtle timeout. That's a crazy pull. If like the 1% chance that Emily and Alex are watching right now, they're probably dying laughing at turtle timeout. That's right. Yeah, you know about the turtle timeout too. This has been one of the more. I'm just scrolling through the different chats right now. This has been chaotic. Oh man, seeing all these deleted messages now. Oh man, good times. Hmm. Yeah, look at that. We got a few more people in the server. We'll take that. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading that. That's insane. I'm about to put you in timeout again. No, the power corrupted me long ago. The power, I think the power corrupted me the moment I built this channel. Built this channel, made this channel. You see what I mean? Look at me, I built this. Dude, this game, this game has gone on for too long. Oh man. Good times. Oh, that was a good one. I freak some people out when I crack my neck like that, which is understandable. But oh, it feels so good. And my pediatrician father says it's okay. So, well, actually, I don't even know if he did say that or not. He said cracking your knuckles is okay. I don't know if cracking your neck like this is good for you or not. I shouldn't quote my dad. But Dr. Pigskin's dad said it was okay for me to do this. Oh my gosh, Derrick Henry's a beast. That's crazy. Like I imagine trying to tackle that. Like how? It's insane. He's like a superhero. Now they're just gonna like, at least for fantasy purposes, right? For pair champ, like now they're just running up the score. Well, there's a loss of yards for Henry there, but now they're really just gonna take the air out of the clock. That'd be crazy. Is that what it would take? 4 fumbles? Oh, is this gonna be a free play? No, they're just gonna blow it dead. I mean, is he up by 8 now? Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a false start. 4 fumbles in the last 8 minutes. Oh sure, yeah, that's possible, right? Or if he just like runs backwards, make the call. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't need 4, right? Because you lose 2 points for a fumble, or is it one? Well, wait. Oh, if it was 2 points, then you'd only need 3 fumbles or 2 fumbles, something like that. It'd be crazy if you fumbled 4 times. Oh, another flag down. Henry is rubbing it in. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. It's okay to crack my neck like that. Okay. All right. We have it on good authority. We'll take that. We'll take that. It's good to know actually, because I do that. I do that pretty frequently. That's what I'll say. So we've got a good solid opinion on that. That's what I'll say. I was trying to figure out what that meant for like a solid minute or two. I'm like, huh, okay, makes sense. Hmm. Well, they're gonna punt it. Sam saying maybe this year will be the year for the Ravens. Week 1 went pretty well. They're another team like kind of similar to the Bengals where they sometimes just have slow, weird starts, right? I mean, they lost that weird game to the Chiefs last year. Nail biter came down to the foot, right? Um, and then they lost to the Raiders. It was week 2 they lost to the Raiders, and then they nearly choked against the Cowboys and fell to 0-3. But then eventually they got right by like second half of the season. But yeah, we've seen them lose like a fair amount of early season games. Not this year though. Oh, are they calling it a touchback? Oh, that's tough. Poor special teams coverage. Man. Did he slide in there? Is that why they're calling it? Yeah. Oh, that's so tough. Poor guy. Probably been grinding this whole time to get a spot as guy on the special teams coverage. Just slides barely into the chalk. I'm not sure that he did touch the chalk. From that angle, it didn't look like he hit the white line. Well, if you're the Bills, you have 3 timeouts, but you pretty much, I don't know, you don't want this scoring to drive to take more than like 2 minutes, honestly. You got to start taking shots downfield. Even if you don't necessarily feel great about your receivers beating these corners, like, you don't really have any other choice. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. Keon Coleman has shown me a little something today. He's made a few nice catches now. He had that drop on the screen in the first half, but okay. All right. But yeah, they got it. They got to push tempo here. Every second is precious. Uh-oh. Got out of there. Yeah, just take it. Get out of bounds. Oh, he wanted to chuck it. You could see it in his eyes. I will say, Josh has gotten a lot better at, like, quieting the voices that tell him to, like, make these crazy throws, right? Last season was a career low for him in interceptions. Just seemed to put the ball in harm's way a little bit less. He's gotten a little bit better at reining it in and controlling himself. And he'll do the crazy when he needs to. And when he does the crazy, make no mistake, 8 times out of 10, it's working, But I feel like he's hit a bit more of a Zen state recently. That might have been a good example right there. There you go. All right. I'd say if you're Buffalo, you want to try and, man, it's going to be tough, right? But you want to try and score with, like, realistically, I'd love to say 5 minutes, but I think 4 minutes left is probably a little bit more realistic. But they're going pretty fast. I don't know. Oh, batted at the line. Honestly, not one of the worst results right there, an incomplete pass. Obviously, you hate to lose it down, but does stop the clock. And yeah, it gives you a chance to cool down a little bit. Maybe you can script up the next few plays here. Chris is making a good point, Chris Collinsworth, that the defense gets to breathe a little bit now. Yeah, they've been getting pushed back a little bit. But I don't know, if you're Buffalo, you could maybe get 2 or 3 plays ready here. You usually see that in like a 2-minute drill, but I don't know. You might want to start thinking about doing something like that. I don't know exactly how common that is, how many teams actually do that, but they're going tempo. Yo, what's up, Parker? Let's go. Yeah, it has been a great game. We'll see if Buffalo can make it interesting here at the end. You got King Henry and Josh Allen in one of your leagues? Yeah, that's a pretty good start to your team. That you'll do pretty well for yourself if that's your squad. The shoulder demon, I love it. He listens to the angel a little bit more now. But sometimes you got to give in to the demons. Don't take that out of context. Oh, incomplete. They'll get a flag, though. I'm not going to lie. I thought for a sec that he was throwing the rail to Ray Davis coming out of the backfield there, and I thought that he just horribly overshot him. We got Wiggins on Coleman. A little bit of hand fighting both ways. But, it looked like Davis was open on the rail there. Like he would be able to hit him in stride and get the first down, but I'm not in the Bills meeting rooms. I don't know how that play is read out exactly, but you'll take the first down either way. Oh, they're changing something. Oh, okay. All right. There you go. Out of bounds. They might hit that 4-minute mark. Leading into the demons, Coach T. Coach T's got to make a comeback at some point. I still haven't fully bought the new Madden yet. I still have the 10-hour free trial. And the only time that I've actually ever played it was when I played it on stream like a month ago. Coach T might have to... Well, it's so hard with how Precious is balling right now. We'll see. It might be Precious time for a while. That's what I'll say. End zone shots. Oh, Palmer was there. He had him. That was a tough throw. Man, if the end zone was like 5 yards longer, that would have worked. But Palmer just ran out of space there. He had a step on Wiggins, though. Hmm. Hmm. There's good protection. Oh, they're trying another shot. Oh! Oh, it was in the hands of Ty Johnson. Man, I was talking him up. I was talking him up as like a trusty receiver in the first half. Man, that's tough. It was there. Off his hands. Hit him in the hands. Tough catch for a running back, but we have seen Ty Johnson make those types of catches before. That's a pretty good ball from Josh. And if you're going to pull off a crazy win like this, like, I don't know. That's a play that you'd like to go your way, you know? Maybe Caden should have started Jordan Mason. Truth. Yeah, because whatever Henry gets, Mason's going to double that tomorrow. Oh, you got to turn up field. They're going to have to go for it. That's not bad, though. I mean, again, it's kind of like what I was talking about with the Eagles and the Lions, right? If you know it's 4-down territory, you don't necessarily have to throw past the sticks here. They got 8 yards. Overall, that might set them up for more success picking up this first down than 2 straight shots of like trying to get a 10-yard chunk play. Now the whole playbook is open here. I still, maybe it's just because I saw the Chiefs do it so much, and I don't know. They make it look so easy. I just want to see a sprint out, honestly. I feel like that's such a good play to go to on like 4th and short. He's dropping way back. He's got to throw it. Oh, Keon got it in the back of the end zone. I thought it went past everyone. Keon's there. Okay, all right. They missed my arbitrary and unimportant 4-minute mark by 4 seconds, but they still have all their timeouts. It was still a relatively quick drive. Here we go. Here's where things get it. I mean, are they going to go for 2? Because you do run the risk of not getting the 2 point. Oh, see. Oh, man. I'm kind of torn by this decision, right? I understand the rationale of kicking it instead of going for 2 because you can guarantee that you get it to a 1-possession game. But either way, you're going to need that 2-point conversion. And there is like a sort of cliche with this decision in some circles where it's almost like you're making the decision of let's lose later, you know, right? Like they're just procrastinating the tough decision. They're procrastinating the hard part. They are going to have to go for 2 at some point. And I don't know if this is a good way of describing it, but it's almost like a placebo. Like it feels better in your brain because now like you can look at the scoreboard and it's like, oh, we know we're down 1 score. And like, I don't know, maybe it still is the right call, but it's interesting though. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, you're going to have to go for 2 either way, right? Wouldn't you almost rather just get it done with now? And then if you get it, then you could get really crazy with it and go for 2 and try and eliminate overtime. I don't know. But now that's the other thing. This guarantees overtime. You leave things up to a 2-point conversion, which statistically speaking is about a coin toss. NFL teams convert 2-point conversions at about 48% of the time. And then on top of that, it would also leave it up to a literal coin toss in overtime as far as like who gets the ball first, just with the way that the NFL overtime is set up right now in the current regular season rules. Like the team that wins the toss is at a massive advantage, especially respectfully with how Baltimore has just been marching down on this Bills defense. Like, man, if the Ravens win the toss, if it were to go to OT and the Ravens win the toss, that's not ideal, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. Lamar Keeper. First down. Slides inbounds. Yep. Nice. Well, I think, yeah, if you're Buffalo, you probably don't call timeout, right? Now that it's a fresh set of downs, you see how this next play on 1st and 10 goes. If you can hold them to like 3 yards or less, then I think you have to push your chips in and call the timeouts, right? In a weird way, almost the worst thing that could happen here if you're Buffalo is if Baltimore gets like an 8-yard run, because then it's like, man, now what? Do we call our timeouts or not? Oh, the ball's out. The ball's out. The ball's out. There's one fumble for Henry, and it's recovered by the Bills. Mayhem, madness, insanity. The Bills are going to get another chance, and they still have all 3 timeouts. Oh my goodness. It's the first turnover of the game. Henry coughed it up. Oh my gosh. Hang on just a second. Hang on just 1 second. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. Man. All right. Let's go. What a game. Let's go. The Bills have a chance to tie it. Oh, could you imagine 40-40 going into OT? Oh, I'm so happy football's back. Allen deep. It's caught. Are you kidding me? Down to the 1. Oh my goodness. And you have to score quick. You don't want to worry about scoring too quick, right? Because you still have another part of the equation, the 2-point conversion, especially since you have all 3 timeouts. If you're the Bills, you want to score as quick as possible. If you're the Bills, you got to try and score before the 2-minute warning here. You want to leave as many clock stopping opportunities as possible. Because if you don't get the 2-point conversion, you got to get the ball back again. If you're the Bills, you got to go right now. This is a big test in clock management. You cannot let that clock go down to the 2-minute warning. There we go. Okay, they're hurrying. It's taking a while to get to the line. You got to pass it here, I think. I think you got to throw it and try and score. They hand it off. Cook, pushing, fighting. Short. Oh. Man, I'm going to be honest. I'm obviously not a coach. There's a reason I'm doing this here. But I really, and I know like the referee was standing over the ball and they can't snap it, but I really, if I'm the Bills, it's a tough transition. I'm not even sure if I want to say this because I get like there's so many factors at play. Like the Bills' whole offense has to like run however many yards down the field, like quick transition setup. You know what I mean, right? Like they have to go and set up and everything. But man, I would have really tried to get some more plays off here. You still have all 3 timeouts, but losing that 2-minute warning is a bummer. You really wanted to score there as quickly as possible. I know you're worried about like scoring quickly and giving the ball back to the Ravens, but again, you got to get that 2-point conversion too. Oh. And Sean McDermott has had some rough clock management moments in the past too. I think about the Rams game last year. Like, this is just one of those where there are maybe a few coaches who would have managed the clock a little bit better in that situation. And maybe that's a dumb thing to get hung up on. And like, either way, they're still going to have a chance. But, Josh dive touchdown. Oh my goodness. They got it. They still got it. All right. Here we go. Moment of truth. 2 points. Oh my goodness. He is indeed hurt, Sam. This game has like exceeded my expectations. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think we were gonna see 40-38. Here we go. Here we go. All right. I'm blocking out my peripheral. I can't have it spoiled by the side monitor. Happens every once in a while. I look silly, but I don't care. 2-pointer. Oh, what a play. Nate Wiggins. Battle of the second year outside guys. Nate Wiggins with the play. That's now twice they've stopped him on 2-point conversions, right? The Nate Wiggins PBU and the Kyle Hamilton interception. That's the game right now. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but now all of a sudden you still have your 3 timeouts. You could have had 4 chances to stop the clock. Now you only have 3. You know, you got to get the ball back again now. Oh, man, they really went for the goal line fade. They just trusted Coleman to go get him a bucket there. Excellent coverage by Wiggins. I love that the refs just let him play there, right? Just let him fight it out. Nothing too egregious either way. 0 for 3 on 2-point conversions. There's one I'm forgetting about. I mean, yeah, that's the game right there. Yeah, they'll kick it deep. That makes sense. All right, well, here you go. You need a quick stop if you're Buffalo. Here's your chance, Henry, for some redemption, right? Coughing the ball up. You have to imagine they're gonna put the ball back in your hands. Maybe if it gets to like 3rd and 8, they'll let Lamar get it, but oh, big hits. All right. All right, man. Here we go. Here's the game right here, this drive. Can Baltimore grind it out? Really? I mean, just all it takes is a few first downs for them to win this game, right? And here's what's tough. If you're Buffalo, now that you're on the wrong side of the 2-minute warning, I mean, even if Baltimore were to get like a 9-yard play here, set up 2nd and 1, tough spot to be in, you kind of have to call your timeout, right? You can't let that clock bleed too much. Pretty much like no matter what here, if you're Buffalo, you're calling timeout, I think, right? Henry got another chance. Staying in bounds, yep. And immediately you could see McDermott coming in to call the timeout, yep. Now, I'm kind of with you, Sam. Like, I can almost understand, like, okay, Coleman's been really good for us. We trust him to go win a jump ball, but man, goal line fade is just such a low percentage play. You've got Josh Allen. I just feel like you could get a little more creative with it. There's just so many more things you could do. You could let Josh run it in. You could trust the offensive line to get you 2 yards. I don't know. I'm kind of with you there. Like, and obviously hindsight is 2020, but yeah. Yeah, it's been a little better than Jets Steelers. The Jets Steelers was sick, but okay. 2nd and 9, folks. All right. Hill is in. Are they going to throw? No way. End around to Zay. Smart to just go down, honestly. Here we go. Timeout, Buffalo. Are they going to throw on 3rd down? I think you have to, right? Buffalo's burned 2 timeouts. So at this point, if you get a first down, that's game, right? Ravens get a first down, it's game. I think you have to throw. I think you have to live with the risk of like an incomplete pass or something, because you know you've got an all-world quarterback, and if you get, 9 yards, you win the game. I think you have to put the ball in Lamar's hands here. Let him throw for the win. And I think they will. Harbaugh's usually pretty good about like being aggressive in these types of situations. Once again, I'm going to block my peripheral. I'm not going to risk any sort of spoilers or anything. Here we go. Lamar's coming off now? Oh, he's communicating with D-Hop. Yeah, I mean, Henry's not out there. They've got Hill in there, probably for pass protection. Check down option. What's your best play? Blitz! Lamar throws, tackled short. Bills timeout. They're going to get the ball back again. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Dude, I will say, this has been another trend. This has been something that I think has almost been more prevalent than their January struggles, and that's been a big thing too. The John Harbaugh Ravens have just had this weird tendency of just blowing some inexplicable leads. They have let out, like you think about the Raiders game, like they blew a big lead for that. They blew a big lead for the Cowboys game. They ended up holding on, but in 2022, they blew a big lead against the Jaguars. Like they just always seem to have one or two of these just inexplicable blown leads every year. Could this be another one? And here, I mean, it's a 2-point game. A field goal wins it. That's what overtime is off the menu now, and that's huge for Buffalo. They have the game in their terms pretty much. Man, whoever wins this game gets to take home last year's MVP trophy. Oh, I love the emojis by Caden too. That's awesome. Well, here we go, folks. One drive for all the marbles. Does Josh Allen have an MVP moment in him? All the debates and discourse and everything, it all comes down to this. Allen has been ridiculous. 329 and 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Does he have one more drive in him? All right. You got to go quick. There's Shakir. Got to go quick. Got to go quick. We're so spoiled. Wouldn't that be something if Matt Prater came off the couch to hit a game winner? Caught by Coleman. Coleman again. He's feasting. 7 for 87 and a touchdown now. 1 minute left. Allen escaping. Is he going to take off? Yep. All right. Gets out of bounds. Positive play. Just kept looking. There he is. Ignoring the shoulder demon again. You know it was calling to him. Too big of a moment here to give in to the demons, though. Second and 5. This, I'm not even gonna say that. I'll save it for the end, but I'm thinking something right now. Oh! Full start. Okay. That backs him up 5. Dion Dawkins. Oh, the vet. The Pro Bowl vet, too. Uncharacteristic mistake in a big spot for Dion Dawkins. Oh. Oh my gosh, I just got a notification that my Xbox is going to turn off soon. Oh, it's caught! Josh Palmer on the corner. Oh my goodness. And the Bills are in field goal range. A strike from Allen to Palmer, the new guy. Just beat him on a corner. What a throw on Jair's dome. That's a fantastic throw right there. Man. Well, here we go. I don't even want to say it, but nothing is set in stone with Buffalo kickers. I say that as a Vikings fan. Hamilton blitzing. It's caught! It's Coleman! Oh, a shoestring tackle. Low key, almost should have let him score there if you're the Ravens. Oh my goodness. Jair got him by the shoestring. He was slipping and he reached out and he got him. Keon Coleman again. Now over 100 yards for the game. Josh Alhim. Ankles broke indeed. Matt, that's what Chris Collinsworth is like. Could you have flirted with letting him score? Because now the Bills are guaranteed to get a field goal off unless they like fumble the snap or something, right? Like, this is insanity. I'm speechless. Allen has almost 400 yards passing. This is what happens when you let him cut it loose, you know? I mean, oh my gosh. All right, low key. I think this will still work if I turn off the monitor, because again, I just don't want any spoilers or anything. I think we're chilling. Yeah. Scoreboard will stay up on the stream. They're going to line up the kick. Ravens have 2 timeouts left. Less than 40 seconds left on the game clock, right? So, I mean, the Bills can take it down. Man. This is insanity. I didn't think we'd ever get to this point in this game, to be honest. Man, poor Derrick Henry. Cutting to him on the sideline right now. They're going to kneel it again. Yep. 1 timeout left for the Ravens. Well, so... Oh. Yeah, they're going to have to... It's going to be a quick change situation, right? I'm assuming they're going to have to kneel, and then they're going to have to do like a fire drill type of thing where they line everyone up and then kick it. It's going to be all continuous. There's going to be no more timeouts or stoppages. Once the ball's snapped, these next 33 seconds are going to go off the clock without any stoppages, I think, right? You think they're probably going to just kneel it again, right? And then they'll just have to get everyone out there because they can't spike it on 4th down. Oh, man. All right. Here we go. This is why you practice this stuff, right? All the special teams coaches are locked in for this right now. All right, they set it up on the correct hash. Here we go. Here comes the fire drill. Everyone's coming off. They're going to line everything up, get set, and then get the snap off as time expires, right? I feel like that's here it is. This is game right here. Prater's going to have time for like 1 or 2 warm-up swings, and then he's going, you know? There's no cool down or relaxing or anything. Here we go. Prater for the win to complete the improbable 15-point comeback in the 4th. It's good. The Bills have won. The Bills have won an unbelievable game. What a way to end an incredible first NFL Sunday. Let's go. Football is back. Prater carried off on the field a la Vince Lombardi. It's stunning scenes here in Buffalo. And the MVP takes the cake. Let's go. What a game. What a game. What a game. Unreal. So, as I was going to say before, and then I stopped myself, but I'll say it now. Honestly, I've streamed a lot of great football games. I've gone live for a lot of awesome football games. This one is up there with like best game I've ever streamed, honestly. Look at Josh. This is his moment right here. Everyone doubting his MVP. Chat going crazy, saying proving he's the real MVP. Tonight, he's the MVP. This is a signature all-time moment for Josh Allen right here. An impossible win for the Bills. Unbelievable performance. Two heavyweights going at it, man. What else is there to say? I leave you guys with the words that I started with. It's in the title. And I urge you, and I beg you, that whenever someone bemoans the lack of quality of play in the NFL, or that quarterbacks these days aren't good, or there's just not a lot of good quarterbacks, I point you to this. And I urge you to respond by saying, we are watching God's playing quarterback. These are not mere mortals under center. This was a true treat. This was something truly special. And I'm glad I got to watch it with you guys tonight. That was crazy. I don't know what else to say. Bills win 41-40. 41-40 to close out the first NFL Sunday. Phenomenal stuff. I don't know what else to say but smile and say, what a great life it is to be a football fan. That's all I've got for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. I had a lot of fun. And I will see you guys all again next week. Till then, the doctor is out. We are watching Gods play quarterback.